There you
Okay, I can sit for this character. I
go.
had to double check the. Hello.
Okay. Okay, I think.
Hi.
Hold on.
I'm in a very uncomfortable spot.
Alright,
Can you
and
please move
now
me?
and now V2 Studio is just not wanting to be right now? Is that right?
Ever, can you move my head, please?
I I one problem at a
Ever,
time,
please.
please. You're
My head is. That's not the head I want to be
money
now.
don't jiggle jiggle. It folds like to see you wiggle wiggle. Oh. Thank you,
Do not
Lubar.
jiggle jiggle right now, please.
I can't. Things are not responding right now. Hold on. Everything is falling apart and I'm dying.
Oh no.
All right, where would you rather there? There. How about I put you can't hear
That's.
the jiggle jiggle son of a bitch. There. There. How's that? Feel better about that?
Yes, thank you.
Fine. Fine. Now where how what fresh hell is this? All right, hold on
What did
everyone.
you
Apparently,
do?
I don't know.
You tested all this yesterday, didn't you?
I did. I did.
Whoa, whoa, whoa!
I
What
know.
is going on
I
with your camera?
so
Whoa!
so if I bump it, it loses its fucking mind. And it's like,
It,
okay,
uh,
fuck my life. All right, hold on, hold on. I'm disappearing. I'm leaving this place.
Bye, Ever. See you on the
I
next plane.
I'm sorry, Lubar. I thought I had things set up, but apparently not.
I'm so glad I fixed my PNG. I had that line above my head for so long.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, so when on my old Fuji PNG, I had this white line that was above my head because I had
Are
forgot to
you are you
remove it, or I
fucking
didn't remove it.
serious
Oh,
right now? No, no, please continue. Please continue while I troubleshoot things live.
yep, yep, yep. So it would just like every time I spoke, there was this floating white line, and no
Mm-hmm.
one ever seemed to notice it or comment on it. But I was like, oh, it bothers me, and it's like someone's gonna notice eventually, and eventually I was just like, fuck it. But I couldn't find the original mouth open thing I used, so now I just use this one, and I think it works. I get slightly bigger when I talk, but
Uh, what?
it works.
What the fuck? Like it's like I didn't even test this like yesterday. I tested it like an hour ago, and it worked fine. I was moving fine, and now I'm
That's
just
so weird.
not. And now just
Is it
fuck me, I guess.
is it because of the mask?
Ooh, knife. Well, no, that wouldn't prevent my like it.
I mean, that could
What?
prevent it from. That's exactly what it is, isn't
It
it?
pre- it
Yep.
prevented my body movement. Excuse me. Okay.
So,
All right.
so whenever it does the tracking, the first thing it's looking for is your face. If it can't find your face, like if you're using a mask, it will just tell you to go fuck yourself.
Okay. Well, now if I get caught in a reflection, it'll be like catching a cryptid.
Do
Except
you have a?
except I just look like a normal guy.
You have an iPhone, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it would make a difference, but there is a way to set up like the face. Maybe that's just the facial. I don't know if that's just for the ID thing though, because there
Uh,
is a way to set it up so it can recognize you with a mask on. But I don't know. I
it,
don't know
it
if it.
it'll be fine. There's like in in the in my metropolitan area alone, there's like a million bearded guys. I think I'll be fine.
I mean, worst case scenario, they know you have a beard.
Uh, shock horror. I know.
Oh,
All right. So now that we have that bit of scuff worked out, hi everyone, welcome to whatever this is going to be. I have hands.
hands.
I have hands
Do
now.
you also have feet?
Uh, actually, I do. And you know what? I bought some nice socks today.
Oh.
Like the slipper socks, you know, with like the thick socks with like the grippy things on the bottom. They're this brand I buy like
Are they
every
grippy
year.
vacation socks?
Huh?
Are they grippy vacation socks?
They are, oh god, what is it they call them? Lodge socks?
Ah, so
Yeah,
not
yeah,
not
yeah.
not the grippy sock vacation kind of socks.
What does that even mean?
So I don't know from personal experience, but I have been told that when you admit yourself into, oh wait, no, I do know from experience because I went to the hospital once for they thought I was having a stroke. Was not having a stroke, but like when it's like when you want to tell someone in code
Uh-huh.
that you admitted yourself to the hospital for whatever reason, you tell them you went on a grippy sock vacation because whenever you go to the hospital, they give you a pair of grippy socks so that way you can walk around and keep your feet warm without slipping.
Interesting.
They're actually, my mom hates them, but I actually think they're pretty nice.
Mm-hmm. But no,
And I mean,
they're,
considering the amount you spend in
yeah.
hospitals, usually, free socks are a nice perk.
Yeah. So they're this brand I buy like every year if the ones I bought last year aren't really holding up like they did last year because things were complicated last year. You know, they're always real nice. You get 2 packs. You get 1 pack of just regular thick socks, you know, kind of plain without the grippies. And then you get a second pair that's got designs on them with the grippies on them. And so the ones I'm wearing right now, they've got trees on them. They got
Oh.
little minimalistic trees on them, and I love it.
You know what that reminds me of?
Hmm.
So you know all the controversy right now with the Overwatch, the battle pass they have, and how shitty it is.
Show feet. Bet. I am aware of battle passes being shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So one of the skins that you're able to get through the battle pass, quote unquote, if you play enough games and you spend the $10.
I was
Okay,
asked to show feet. I'm here for content.
Now you gotta wipe the counter off. Your foot spit on it.
It's fine. Don't worry about it.
You're gonna eat foot food?
It wouldn't be the first time.
Wow, I'm losing respect for you significantly. Anyway, there is one of the really, so I don't know how they chose some of these skins, but they chose some really bad skins for this battle pass. Like like okay, they did a recolor. One of the skins they chose for the current battle pass is Forest Ranger Cassidy, which is AKA McCree. And oh my god, first of all, they took away his beard. So now on the skin he just has a mustache and it looks horrible.
Literally unplayable.
Terrible. Yeah. Second of all, his so instead of giving him like a new outfit, they just made his poncho. They put little like clip art green forest ranger trees on his poncho.
They're using clip art?
It's not clip art, but you know
Sorry,
what I mean.
I keep forgetting.
It's
Small indie studio. That's right. I keep forgetting. Just silly me.
It looks terrible. The whole skin looks terrible. And it's like, I think it's like, I want to say it's like the level 5 skin or something. And like there were like sprays that if you get the premium, and like you have to pay legitimate money and then play the game a certain amount to get any of this stuff. And most of the stuff is garbage. It's all garbage. Like I didn't think it could be worse than loot boxes. It's worse than loot boxes. It's way worse than loot boxes. Bring back the loot boxes.
Are they like trying to kill the game? Is that what's happening or what? I don't understand.
I don't
everything
know.
I hear about Overwatch 2 is just not good.
I mean, like if you're playing Mystery Heroes and the game itself is relatively the same.
Yeah.
There's some new maps. There's some new there's some new maps. There's some new like game types. They've made it so that way now you can play like mini matches or whatever while you're waiting, like not mini matches but like mini games while you're waiting for a match to start. Like you can play deathmatch or like fuck around with a character, whatever you want to do. Everything else, all the other decisions are terrible, terrible. And I think I've mentioned this before. I went on the whole rant about yeah, Lubart really did die for this. Something I've noticed is that they've made the male characters like less sexy, but that they've like left, you know, either made the female characters' outfits more sexual or like they've just left them the same. Like Genji doesn't have an ass anymore. It's flat now.
That's where Diva got her ass from then. Okay.
Yeah, she stole Genji's ass!
I cannot believe she's done this.
Yeah, and it's kind of like the new outfits, they all look the same. Me and Retta got into a whole conversation about it. Like they're all boring now. They all look exactly the same. It's just like it's not good. It's not good, and I'm really glad that I spent money on skins in Overwatch 1, like for loot boxes, because God knows I'm not doing it now, and it doesn't make sense, right? To take away the loot boxes, because they're saying the whole thing is that, oh, well, we can't, you know, be in compliance with China if we have them.
Right.
No, you can. The thing is you can, because China's rules aren't that you can't have loot boxes. The rules is that you have to make the game, like, you have to make it fair betting odds, right? So, like, you know how Genshin, you know, this many polls you're guaranteed to get the character?
Yeah.
That's all they have to do is so many polls, you've got a certain level of item.
And I was gonna say,
really have to do.
They don't want China is pretty much where all of the anime gacha games are coming from in the first place.
Oh,
so
yeah.
obviously they have no problems with gambling.
Yeah, it's not, the issue isn't gambling. The issue is that they don't want to share the percentages, because that's the first law in China, is that you have to share the percentages of getting the item.
Yeah.
So that way people know their chances. Which, by the way, I think should be a law across the world. That should just be, like, for gacha games, that should just be a thing. Because I honestly think, A, it makes people more likely to roll.
Yeah.
And B, it's also just, you know, it's just the fairness of it. Because if you're going to expect people to put money into these things, you need to know the drop rate. Like, even if you go to the store and get one of those random blind boxes, there's usually a rate tier of how, like, common an item is. You have common, you have this, and then you have that.
I thought ODDS publishing was industry standard. You'd think so.
No. Until China...
Holy shit.
It wasn't until China made it illegal for games in their country to not post odd chances. Like, they would either be super vague or they wouldn't post them at all. The second thing is that you just have to get, like, you have to list how many rolls it takes until you're guaranteed a certain prize. So, for example, if they follow the rules of, yeah, a lot of places do, but it's not required. All they would really have to do is be like, after this many rolls, you get this tier of an item. And that's not hard.
No.
That's not hard. And Overwatch has so many skins, including their old skins, that they could still make a ton of money, and people could still, like they could have event loot boxes and regular loot boxes and have these tier systems and still make a ton of cash. And I know some people have problems with loot boxes in general because, yes, it does, like, capitalize on, like, gambling and, like, that kind of thing. But also at the same time, like, I don't know, I find loot boxes fun. And even if they didn't, like, bring it back as a pay-for thing, the Battle Pass is not a good... It does not encourage you to keep playing. Because right now the prizes are so crap And unless you pay the $10, you know, you don't get most of the items on the battle pass
I'm
to start
sorry,
with.
$10?
I think it's $10, and
I,
then I think, or maybe it's 20. It might be 20.
you know, that really chaps my ass, is when you throw in a battle pass and then like, oh, you can get all this stuff, but you can get even more stuff if you pay for it.
Well, here's the other thing too. It's not even like the Genshin Battle Pass where you get the same amount of items. It's just you get most of the items are shit. And it's like you literally like I think it's like every however many parts you get a certain item for free. Like I think the first level skin is free, and then
Uh-huh.
after that it's like voice lines and like sprays, and then after that you need the premium to get any free skins.
God.
And
Because, you
it's
know,
like,
League
and the
does that.
skins,
Like,
yeah, but I feel like
they've got the battle
but
pass,
League,
right? And like you miss like
yeah,
half of the things on it if you don't pay for it with the
isn't
riot stuff.
isn't that just for whatever it's called, tactics though? I
Is
think
it?
that might just be for tactics.
Well,
But
it's for
even
like
then,
event stuff too, because like they've
oh
got the
yeah,
League
yeah,
Worlds event going on right now. It's like half the stuff you can't even get it if you're not paying for it.
that's true, that's true. But at least here's the thing though, League skins, and I'm not trying to defend League at all, but
No.
theirs are cheap enough. They're cheaper, right? And even the ones that aren't cheaper, there's a lot more. It's a higher quality skin. Like
Hmm.
for example, I think deluxe skin is like what 40, 30, $40,
Die.
but it's almost like the really nice one, the elemental one. But it's almost like four skins at once. A lot of the thing with Overwatch skins is that you can't even see the skin you're wearing while you're playing as the character one.
Oh
It's
yeah.
mostly because you're playing from first person shooter. It's mostly just like I like my to know my characters in this skin because you only see it before you enter the game.
Right.
And then also I think their skins are $20 a piece right now, and they're not. Some of the skins are really nice skins, but it's a lot of them are not. A lot of them are trash, and it's not great.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's also usually have enough premium currency included you could purchase. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the other thing too. Like, so League also, they also, here's the thing, in addition to the Battle Pass, you also get a lot of things that you can earn skins for free now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you don't necessarily know what you're gonna get, but you can like, keep earning things and rolling for things, and
Yeah.
they make it so you can keep working towards, getting random skins. Overwatch has no incentive right now. There's
Is
no
that right?
incentive other than to really like play with your friends. There's really no incentive other than maybe to get more stuff from the battle pass. But again, the stuff is all junk. It's all shit for the most part. Like there's like one or two good skins on there, but it's mostly sprays for things you don't really even want, or it's voice lines. And honestly, there's really no difference between the stuff for premium and the stuff that you get for free because the
Mm-hmm.
premium stuff is just as crap as the free stuff.
It's that.
There might be like
Fuck's sake.
there might be one or two good skins, but here's the thing: you have to play so much to get those items that it's not really worth it because you're paying that money, but then you have to work for it even though you paid for it. So it's like at least with League, those battle pass items, I don't have. There are some items that you kind of have to work for, but like for a lot of the items, you could just get a bunch of things with the battle passes, right? Like
Yeah.
you could pretty much get the things you want, and you don't have to do too much extra work. Overwatch is making you do so much extra work for stuff that you might not even necessarily want. You might want one or two skins, and even then, it's like, well, at that point, I might as well just buy the skin and say fuck it. But you don't want to buy the skin because it's so expensive. Like it's like the battle pass is like the chance to get the skin for slightly cheaper, but then you're also spending your time. It's not worth it, and they're just making really bad decisions. And from what I've heard, they're still having issues with the management.
Mm-hmm.
and there aren't even account levels anymore. Sure. I'm not sure. They might have gotten rid of them. I wouldn't be
Interesting.
surprised. I know when I play, me and my boyfriend played a little bit, and for the most part, all we play is the Mystery Heroes.
Mm-hmm.
Because the other stuff, unless he has a character that he really wants to play, we'll just play Mystery Heroes because it's more fun than playing the serious games.
God.
Like it's more fun, and it's really the only thing really worth playing right now, which is really unfortunate because Overwatch has been one of those things where when it came out, I was so excited. Like I
Yeah.
was that bitch who, before Overwatch came out, I went to 3 different Taco Bells to get the Tracer Cup. I wanted the Tracer Cup, and I
Oh.
could only get the Reaper or Winston Cup. I wanted the Tracer Cup. I got it, but now I don't. I'm so disappointed with like it was so promising on so many levels, and just so many things have gone wrong. And I think it all really started to go downhill when I don't even know. It was like they started changing the concepts of the characters completely.
Mm-hmm.
Like when when Diva first came out, my understanding is that she was always like gonna be like the bratty, like I'm a pops idol kind of character, and maybe get character growth. And then when they showed us her animatic, and they completely changed her character,
Mm-hmm.
like to the point where it was completely different from who she was portraying in the game, I was like, this is weird, and this is like I like her animatic, but that was not her original character concept, and
It
you could
was.
tell.
It ended up being like what, like sort of an Evangelion thing, a kid thrown into the military-industrial complex kind of deal. Wasn't that what it was, or am I thinking of something else entirely?
Uh, no, that's pretty much what it became. Like, and I like that concept, but that was not the original concept of Diva. Like, I'm sorry, the winky, like her. If you listen to her voice lines, you could tell. I also really liked the original concept. There was some theorizing that Mercy was like gonna be secretly evil or something. There was some really good things they had going, and then they just completely were like, nope, we are getting rid of all our lore concepts and just trying to make ourselves into what we think will possibly sell better. And then there
Mm-hmm.
was all the issues with the like the sexual harassment lawsuits and stuff, which by the way, turns out most of the issues they had came from people that they had hired from Riot after Riot had their whole sexual lawsuit thing.
God damn.
Yeah, so this was
Just
like
moving
people who,
victims around, huh?
yeah, like they're just not, well, not victims, but yeah, moving, like literally moving trash from one place to another, and
Oh. Okay. I see.
yeah,
I see.
yeah, like the people who are causing problems just happen to be former Riot employees. I don't think so. I don't think that was an accident.
Sounds a bit
But you
more
know,
like
it.
active hiring for the workplace culture to me, but what do I know?
Frank, if you played Overwatch, your O level skill will still be displayed on your profile as kind of a legacy level, but it will remain the number you were at the end of Overwatch's life. Oh,
Is
that's
that
weird.
right? That's such a weird. Oh no. I guess it's just kind of the state of the industry right now.
I guess they just didn't have, you know what it probably was, is that they got rid of the levels because they didn't have prizes. It used to be you get a level and you get a loot box. Like anytime you gain a level, you get a loot box. And that's the thing, is that they give you loot boxes for everything.
Mm-hmm.
Like they give you loot boxes for playing certain modes in the game. They give you loot boxes as prizes for events. I don't even know if they did the Halloween event, but it's like, what was the point if there's no incentive? Because
Mm.
if it was the Halloween event, that's the same one they do every goddamn year, what's the point? You know? Paladins has Amelia Watson voice pack. Every other hero shooter is inferior.
Let's
Ooh.
go.
I left Overwatch for Paladins after they kept messing with my Mercy. Fair. Yeah, Yeah, it's like you need some sort of reward for continuing to play and grow. And like I get Overwatch is free now, but I feel like that would give them even more incentive to try and be like, "Hey, you should play our game and you should to get like stuff, right?"
Because that's how literally every other free game works.
Yeah, like Genshin, is Apex free? Apex is free, yes.
Yeah.
Genshin, Apex, Fortnite, like literally how it works is you play to get more free stuff.
Yeah.
It encourages you to keep playing. And even if like I don't know, they need to figure something out because Overwatch is fun, but it's not I don't know. It's not gonna be fun enough to keep living on its own like this in its current state. I don't know what they were thinking. Also, I feel like they made Overwatch 2 out to be they were gonna make all these changes and it was gonna be this huge. Yeah, it's unfinished. It doesn't have player versus environment. Yeah, that's what they advertised. I was gonna say they advertised it like it was gonna be a completely different game.
Is that right?
You know? Yeah, what are we making, by the way?
Stew.
Oh, yummy.
Beef stew with pumpkin and coal cannon. And I'm also setting up my mulled wine for Yule tonight.
Ooh, nice. But yeah, like I don't understand. They marketed it as this completely different game with new features, and it was gonna have all this new lore. Half the characters just look like shit now. Like Soldier 76 is going through his midlife crisis again. This is his second midlife crisis. The first one was him becoming Soldier 76 and telling everyone to go fuck themselves. The second one is I don't know what he did to his hair.
Maybe he's just having an ongoing crisis, you know?
Maybe, but it's like his
That's
crisis
what
is
I'm
done a
doing.
360, and now he's like, I'm cool and hip with the kids, even though I'm losing my hair, I'm gonna start spiking it up. It's like, sir,
Sir, please calm down.
please calm down. He looks like someone who deserves to be bullied now. Like he was like edgy before, but now he like it looks like I bet you Reaper, who is the edgiest edgelord ever, makes fun of him to his face. Like they used to just be like the tension former, you know, the X's with tension, right? Ray's and Soldier 76. And now Ray's just pulls on believes him. Reaper's just like, hey, look at this bitch, look at this chump with his
Look at
hair.
this bozo.
I bet he bought a motorcycle because he thought it would make him look cool.
Oh my god.
Also, I have a really hard time. I know why they did it, and I think it was a good decision to do it, but at the same time, it's really hard not to call Cassidy McCree. It's really hard not to, because it just is. It's really hard to change.
Why did they change the name?
So McCree was actually named after a really shitty person at Blizzard.
Oh,
So they changed the name because they're like, we don't want to rep this person in our game anymore and cause further trauma to the people working on the game who will forever have to see his name after what he did to them. Which, like, fair, very fair. But it's also very difficult to make that kind of change when the game's been out for so long.
Right.
I support that change because it makes sense, but at the same time, it's a very hard transition. So there's like a lot of times you have to specify which character Cassidy is because his name was McCree for so long, and it's just it's difficult. It's difficult.
Honestly, though, pretty based change.
Oh yeah, it was very good thing for them to do. I know Matthew Mercer was on board with it too. Which I kind of wish they had just changed his name to Mercer.
Yeah.
Because, frankly, I mean... I guess they didn't want to name it after another person and then have something go wrong. But, you know. I think that one would be a pretty safe bet.
Well, I think also if maybe, you know, Matt Mercer got a bit expensive for Blizzard. They wanted to have an option to not have him be on board anymore.
I mean, maybe. I like McCree because of Mercer voicing it. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
But they could not have anyone else voice him. I'm going to be honest with you. It has to be Matthew Mercer. Because Matthew Mercer is McCree.
That has never
McCree's
stopped.
company.
That has never stopped a company before.
I mean, it would be difficult, especially considering Matthew Mercer literally looks like the character.
Yeah.
Like, I think he did a cosplay on Roll20 one year for Halloween. Literally, they could get him to play him in a movie, and it would be the exact same. That man is a god of an actor, by the way. Anyway, oh my god, that's my rant about that. Anyway.
Nice. Excellent.
Otherwise, it's the same game, and I enjoy it just as I did before. But I don't know if I care for the new characters yet, though. Although I can't really tell which ones are new and which ones are old because I stopped playing around the time they released Echo. So I'm not sure how many quote-unquote new characters there really are.
Yeah, I never really kept up with Overwatch because I'm not exactly a shooter game kind of person,
Yeah, I gotcha. Ooh, so you know how I play dating sims?
Yes.
Do you remember? I don't know if you remember this. There was an anime from Netflix that was coming out. That I was like, "Hey, Scarlett, is this you?" Because the main character looks exactly like Scarlett.
Oh,
and, yeah. So it came out, and basically the whole plot of the anime is that this girl, she doesn't date anyone. She's in like high school, or I don't know how old she is. I'm pretty sure she's in high school.
With anime, it's impossible to know, really.
Yeah, for real. But anyway, she's in high school, and basically all her life she's never had a date and really pursued dating because she goes home, she plays dating sims or other video games, she eats chocolate, and she only gives love and affection to her cat.
Yeah.
Very fair, very valid. Because a lot of people like her have been contributing to the extremely low birth rate in Japan.
Oh no.
This dating sim game, I don't really know how this worked out. She ordered this dating sim game, and a wizard popped out, and basically the wizard was like, and when I say wizard, I mean he's like a little bear, like, you know how magical girls have the little creatures who follow them around and be like, "You're gonna be a magical girl." He's like that kind of thing. He pops out and he's like, "I'm gonna make your life into a dating sim, and you're gonna be surrounded by hot men." So it's a reverse harem anime. It's good, and it's like, I'm gonna take your 3 most treasured things until you get a relationship with one of the men that I present to you and fall in love. So, the wizard slash bear, honestly, you could just call him Zoran. With if Zoran had a high key anime voice, takes away her games, makes it so her parents uses magic, so her dad gets moved to another. He gets, what is it called? Transferred? He gets transferred to America, even though he's like a postal worker for Japan, to go work in New York. So her mom and her dad leave her alone to live in the house, and they take the cat with them. And then the bear makes it so she can't eat any other chocolate. And then the bear starts introducing, they use magic to manipulate people's memories and introduce different romance options, right? So the first romance option is this kind of cool, standoffish, pretty boy who doesn't have any interest in dating. She actually breaks his phone, and he's actually pretty cool about it, and he's pretty chill. And then the bear puts the guy into all these horrible situations, so he winds up living with her. He then makes up a what do you call it? Oh, a childhood friend like character, like
Uh-huh.
fully manipulates this guy and his family's memories. So the main character is now his childhood friend, and they've known each other since they were children, and like they're like it's not clear if his memories are real or not, and like she just doesn't remember because they've been slightly manipulated. But so they introduce that character, and then they introduce a rich tsundere character who's like whose whole interest in her is that she doesn't like him and isn't obsessed with him because he has money and stuff, right? Like that's his whole interest in her, is that she treats him like a normal fucking person and tells him to go screw himself. That's his whole interest. So that's the third one, and she keeps being like, the bear keeps putting them in these like stereotypical situations. Turns out, on the episode I'm on right now, which is episode 9. I don't know how many are in this anime. Hold on, how many are in this anime? Okay, there are just 12. There's the bear, I think, is the last, like, supposed to be like the secret dating option, because like they're not human and they don't understand how human love works, so they keep trying to put the main character into these cliche situations. But like I think they're accidentally like falling in love, because in the most recent episode they went on a date, quote unquote, so that way the bear could like learn about dating and stuff. And the main character just straight up says, you know, you can't force love and this kind of thing. And she's like the anti-heroine type, meaning basically she's the type of main character who tells all the boys in the dating sim their poop stinks and stuff like that, like the sun doesn't come out your ass kind of character. Yeah. And like she's getting like comfortable and like enjoying her new life, because she actually the childhood friend also winds up living with her and the other boy, because at one point someone breaks into their house to like as a steal panties from her mom, who no longer lives there, which is funny. So his mom's like, you need to live with her because it's dangerous for her to be living alone, not knowing that there's another guy living there too. So these three are living together. I'm pretty sure the first boy is going to be the love interest, because he's the one getting the most screen time and he's getting the most attention, and also like in the opening he's the one who has the most like time being like looking pretty and stuff, and he's just getting the most of everything.
And so, also it's never the childhood friend anyways.
It's never the childhood friend, and they do talk about the characters like dating sim like options. So the childhood friend also like, they also address like the main character kind of feels bad because his memories have been manipulated, and he's under like a spell to believe that he's like always had a crush on her, and he's quote unquote easy mode, as they say. Because like in dating sims, the childhood friend is usually the easiest to date because they already like you. They already want to be with you. So it's just like a skip, hop, and a jump, and you're fine. This poor man. I think what kills me is dating sim wise, he's my type. Like he's tall, he's buff, he's a sweetheart. He just, he's really affectionate. And I'm like, fuck, they made my favorite type, and he's not gonna get any more attention. Like I was hoping for more background, but the most background we've seen is that he has so many siblings and stuff. And this poor kid, like, oh, I feel so bad for him because he's a sweetheart. Like he at the end of the last episode, he got into a bike accident, like not like a major one. But he like crashed his bike because the bear was like being like, I'm gonna try to stir like the romance pot by doing the whole rival trope, right? Yes, Lubar, he is playing God. We're gonna do the rival trope where I'm gonna go around with you on my fake date, and we're gonna run into all the dating options, and they're hopefully seeing me with you will make them be like, oh shit, I gotta get my shit together because the girl I like is getting stolen. Yeah. Except the first guy, the main guy, is not interested in dating right now, and we haven't really gotten into his backstory, but something happened. Something real bad happened to him, and I have a feeling like it might have been a situation where like an older woman was trying to take advantage of him.
Oof.
Yeah, that's what seems to be alluded to, which is really sad. I don't know. I don't know what the rich boy's story is, but yeah. And then, yeah. Also, the lead boy, he has a hot sister. She's also badass. She kind of like her design actually like fairly close to like Monarch design, like the VTuber Monarch.
Yeah.
Like same color hair, blue eyes, white and blue outfit. She looks scarily close. And yeah, oh, kind of like the main character, she's like, oh, I think I'm in love for meeting this girl. I'm just like, make it happen. Date her instead.
Fucking get it, girl.
Like,
yeah.
Get it. But she's only there to be like the approving, like, I approve of you as a romance option for my brother because you made him smile and he hasn't smiled in years. And I'm like, God damn it.
Lame.
They always, no lesbian options. God damn it, no. How are you gonna have a dating sim with no lesbian options?
That's why you play. That's why you play the Yuri dating sims.
But see, Yuri. Okay, so here's the thing about Yuri dating sims. They're directed towards guys. They're not directed towards girls usually.
I'm a guy. That's why I'm playing.
God damn it.
Listen.
Anyway. Hi, Gigi.
What? Hey, G. Cooking stream, yeah. Look at this. Ooh, yeah. Look at that beef cooking.
Ooh. Are you using the pumpkin pot?
I am using the pumpkin pot for the stew, yeah.
$300 pumpkin pot. Hell yeah. Let's go.
We don't.
Why are you shushing me?
Don't.
Why are you shushing me?
Don't tell them how much the pot costs.
$300. It's a good pot.
Shut. They don't need to know.
They need to know.
They don't. But they
don't. They need to know.
No, they
don't.
Do. No.
Yes, they do.
No.
$300 cooking pot. $300. Worth
Shut.
it. Listen. Oh, are you putting pumpkin in there too? Like actual pumpkin?
Yeah. I'm swapping out the potatoes in the stew for pumpkin. Just because, you know, I'm making... Okay, so the way that traditionally it works, right, is you also have mashed potatoes, or in this case, a coal cannon, and you take a scoop of that, and you put the stew over it.
Oh, cool.
And you know, as much as I like potato, you know, boil it, mash it, stick it in a stew.
Fry it.
You know, sometimes you wanna mix things up. Sometimes you wanna keep things interesting.
Gotcha.
So I figure,
you know what?
Pumpkin is a good way to do that.
You know what's kind of fucked? I could not find. So, me and my partner, we waited till the last minute to go get pumpkins.
Yeah.
Because we didn't want, you know, rotten pumpkins to be left on our doorstep. Could not find pumpkins. Could not find pumpkins anywhere. Nowhere. Could not find them. So that sucked. And then also, TikTok has a filter, and it's like, are you a main dish or are you a side dish? And
Kabucha.
But it'll like tell you what main or side dish you are.
Yeah.
I got side dish and I got mashed potato, and I felt attacked as an Irish person.
Oh, that's racially motivated.
Exactly. They were like, of course, the redhead with the freckles must be potatoes dish of some kind. Couldn't even give me like a loaded baked potato. Had to go with the full mashed potato.
That's no, ain't no way that's not racially motivated.
100%. Attacked by the TikTok app.
Japanese curry with pumpkin is the best. Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
So the last time I went to make curry,
Mhm.
like I was setting it up to be a beef curry, right? Because that's what I wanted. That's what sounded good to me. I thought this was gonna work better than it did. Plan B. And then I realized, like halfway through making it, because you know I used beef. I used beef broth because that's what makes sense to use when you're using beef. I realized like halfway through I'm making a stew. I had accidentally made a stew in the process of making beef Japanese style curry. I was sitting there like, God damn it.
I mean, they are very close.
They are.
They are. It's just one's like more. The one's more of a sauce. I guess. Like the base is more of a sauce than it is of a soup nature.
Yeah. So it was just kind of one of those things like, fuck, man. It was already getting pretty thick, and then when I added in the curry roux, it was like, I was adding a lot of water.
Hi, Sin.
Sin, hello.
How are you enjoying your leagues of legends?
Your leg.
Your leg day. Are you working on the leg day? Are you doing your leg workouts? You know, the pumpkin cut in half like that kind of looks like a butt.
Why are you like this?
What do you mean? What do you mean?
I say lovingly, of course.
What do you mean like this? It looks like a butt.
Don't worry about it. I'm losing my mind. Oh
no. Uh-oh.
Not
what
going
happened?
well today.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Oh boy, oh boy. Alright, time for round 2 of beef.
Beef.
Beef? Oh, so you remember, like the weird meme videos that Senzawa would put out?
Kind
queen,
of?
The meme queen.
The meme? Oh, you mean the girl who would like respond to like mean to boys posting dumb shit and she'd like laugh about it?
No.
A different girl, a different person.
I think we're thinking about different people.
I'm thinking of something else.
I think both of our brains have turned to mush. Now, hey Phoebe, we're making stew tonight.
What meme queen though?
Senzawa.
Senzawa.
You know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
You'd never. What? How?
I'm not sure. I don't know.
How can you never have heard of Sen? Okay, it's neither here nor there.
I probably have. I just don't recognize the name.
She's the one that everyone was freaking out about, like having randomly tweeted after a year, after like 2 years. Yeah.
Shark. Ancient shark.
We had the whole conversation on the siblings server.
Yeah.
So this one that I found is kind of in the same vein, but she seems to have fallen off, you know, much like Senzawa did randomly, and I'm like, is it just that they've stopped making content? Is it that they've found something else that they're doing? Like, I want to know, you know, but at the same time, I don't want to be like, I don't want to put the effort into being an internet sleuth, you know? I just, it's frustrating because I liked their stuff. They had some solid stuff going, and I'm like, man.
Who was it?
Little Nammy.
Little Miami.
And like what made me think of it was, talking about beef. Got a whole video that's just, saying beef in various ways, but like it's entertaining. It's, you know how sometimes you just find the weirdest shit entertaining.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's one of those kinds of things.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm overthinking.
I don't know. Maybe, I mean, that happens a lot where VTubers will just fuck off, and then they'll turn up somewhere else. Cough cough. People I may or may not know. It'd just be like, oh yeah, guys, I'm graduating, or just fuck off without saying anything, and oh, look at that, huh? Look at that, look at you doing the thing.
Gosh, you sound awfully familiar. I haven't streamed before in my life. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Bullshit.
Bullshit.
I've never streamed before. I
saw you like 2 months ago. What are you talking about?
You used to stream 3 times a week. Haha. Wait, haha. What is streaming? Yeah, I know, GG, right? What is streaming? No idea.
What is streaming?
Never. Oh my God.
I've never heard of such a thing.
Anyway, hold on. I have to go to the bathroom really quick because I drank my tea very quickly, and now my body's like, oh, you hydrated? You had a little bit of you had a little hot water. You had water. I'll be right back.
Yep. So, speaking of graduations, not me. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. But a couple of VTubers I really like graduated over the weekend. Gino. and it's frustrating. It's frustrating sometimes to see the streamers that you really liked, and I really liked them. I thought they had great chemistry. Their stuff was fun, but it was just like the company that they were working under was expecting different numbers than what they were getting. The Go Nippon Live With You girls, Akira and Makoto, they graduated yesterday. And it's like, their stuff was really good. But I guess the company that they were working under was expecting higher numbers. Or something. That's my understanding of what happened. Yeah, and like they were really involved in the community, like not just in their community, but in the VTubing community in general. And they worked really well together, and I don't know. It's bullshit. I guess is what I'm trying to say here, that it's bullshit. But it happens, you know? I don't know, maybe I'm just being weird or bitter about it or something, I don't know.
Wait, who graduated?
The Go Nippon Live With You girls graduated yesterday.
Oh, you mean the one... I wasn't really following them, but aren't they based off a game?
Yeah. And like, so they reached the 10,000 subscriber mark on YouTube, right? Mm-hmm. And that's when their company was like, hey, They're gonna have a new game. Gonna have a new Go Go Nippon game.
Mm.
But then, like, it was out of nowhere too. Like, they graduated, they announced at the start of the month. Oh, they're gonna be graduating.
That's really bizarre.
And I guess from what I was able to gather, they weren't getting the numbers that the company was expecting them to. Which is bullshit, because they're like they were like really active in their community and in the VTubing community as a whole. So it's like, man,
I guess my thought on that is that why wouldn't they let them like go until the new game was out, right?
right?
At the very least. Because here's the thing, like maybe their contract ended because they had a certain amount of a certain numbers they had to hit before a certain amount of time. But like, oh God.
And they just hit like as they were pulling up to graduation, they hit 15,000.
But it sounds like to me, because I didn't even know that they had VTubers. It sounds like to me that they just expected these characters, who are not the actual characters but pretending to be the characters from their game, to just blow up. And that didn't happen, and that they didn't want to continue with the project. Which it seems bizarre to me on two levels, because I haven't seen their models, but VTuber models are not cheap to have made. They're not cheap to have made. And it's kind of like the Tony the Tiger thing, where they're like, we're going to use them for like 2 streams or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't understand the thought process here. To spend all that money on something that you are only going to use for such a small amount of time.
Yeah.
I guess I also don't know what their contract says, but yeah.
I don't know. I just thought, they were pretty good. They worked really well together. They were pretty good entertainers. So hopefully they kind of find their way back. Yeah, hopefully they find their way back into it somehow.
I think that kind of thing is also really difficult when it's a character who's part of a game.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to create characters specifically for that purpose, but having someone portray a character that already has an existing lore, like even as corporate contracted characters, right? Specifically do something that is already a character that has their own personality and their own fate. Like it's not the same as like say Niji Sanji. They tend to make their characters models before they like pick who they're gonna work with.
Yeah.
It's much more difficult, and I think that's probably one of the things that bit them in the ass, because that means that they were trying to probably appeal to a new audience rather than the old audience they thought they had. Because unless you're doing like what Kazuna Aya was doing at the end of her career, which is fully scripted content, they're completely different people, right? The person playing them versus the character on the screen, you know.
I thought they emulated it pretty well. They emulated the personalities of the characters pretty well, I think.
Okay, that's fair. Was it like the? I guess my other question is, did they have voice actors before, and that's who maybe was playing them, or was it just?
Oh, it's been a while since I played the game.
I've never played it before. I think I have it on my list of games to play, but I don't think I've actually played it myself.
It's just one of those things, I guess.
What do you mean, one of those things?
I think I'm frustrated about it because I liked them. You know, like I liked their stuff. I liked their content. So maybe I'm more frustrated about them not doing it anymore than I am about anything else having to do with it. You know?
Yeah, and like I get that, because if someone's like doing a good performance and then it just ends suddenly, like it's sort of a good way to describe it. Do you know the Owl House? Have you heard of that show?
I've heard of it, yes.
So it's a Disney cartoon show, and it's kind of like, fuck, what is that series called? The show by Alex Hirsch.
Uh, Gravity Falls?
Yeah, it's kind of like that, where it's not like typical Disney. It's more like an untypical Disney cartoon. Um, like it's something more that you would expect from Cartoon Network. It's involving like creepy stuff and like magic, and like it takes place in this world that's like, oh, this is a magical universe, but it's like more related based on like actual creepy fairy tales, or like people would eat each other and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it was good. It was doing really good. It was really popular with the cartoon scene. They canceled it. And the reason behind it, the the quote unquote reason is that it wasn't it didn't match the Disney brand well, and it was too off Disney brand. But the real reason is that it wasn't as easily merchandisable as, like, say, like Hannah Montana, right?
Yeah.
I hate to use it as an example because it's not a cartoon, but it's not as merchandisable as that kind of thing. So they canceled it because they can't make toys. And this is kind of the thing with Disney cartoons, right? Is they don't really make toys based on anything, and because like they don't want to market things to older generations, really, is the issue. Because the younger generations, even though like older generations are very easy to market to, you just need to know what to make and stuff.
Yeah.
They don't like doing it. They like making what they know, which is you make the show, you make toys for it, and then you sell. That's what they know, and that's what they like to do. And that's kind of the thing, is that it doesn't really matter how well it's doing. The only thing they care about is marketing it to easier to manipulate. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Oh, you got some static going on.
Oh, do I? Or that might be things frying.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's exactly what that is. I was like, what is that noise? But yeah,
Ever's
same...
getting fucking blasted over there with radiation or something, man.
But it's kind of like the same thing, where my guess is probably the more corporate side was like, oh, we just assumed that this was going to blow up against all this money, and they're realizing that's not how that works. And because it's not working how they pictured it to work, they're just like, well, we're done with this project now. And it just kind of shows lack of understanding of the internet and its space and marketing, and like can you imagine if they had them like wait until the next game came out and promo the next game, they had them play the game? Like, right. What incredible marketing that would have been. It just seems like a dumb move to end their contract before the game was finished. And I don't know what their contract like had them being paid, or if there was a certain amount of time, or I don't know what happened, but they clearly didn't understand what they were getting into. They invested all this money, they didn't get the return they wanted, and it ended in ending the project, which sucks. Yeah. Like, don't do that. And I always do that. I feel like that's the thing with a lot of these YouTuber projects, is people, and creative, like, kind of with content creation projects in general, there's a lot of businesses out there who they do not understand the landscape. And they just don't, because they're not hiring people who understand the landscape. They're hiring people who, like, they're like, oh, I know what the kids are into, and companies are getting better at it, but they still don't fully understand. And it's becoming more and more obvious that they don't fully understand why people don't like them. Like, I forget what company it is, but there's like a lot of there's just a lot of companies that they're like, I know what works, and it's like, no.
You clearly
I guess
don't.
I guess
Yeah.
Elon Musk and Twitter is a good one, a good example of people who do not understand how it works. Um, like with the whole situation of Elon being like, I am losing so much money and it's all the activists' fault. When the truth is, companies are trying to protect their brands. They don't want to work with them anymore because he's making very big choices in a very short amount of time, which never looks good for a company. Like, it doesn't matter if you're going through a reform, it just looks like that you've walked in without any consideration or understanding of what's going on and just started making changes because you, like, have you ever heard the story of the CEO who, like, he would do interviews, and when he was doing the interviews, he'd always take people out to get steak?
I have not.
Okay, so what this guy, and this is like, I don't know if this is a real story or not, but what he would do is every time he went out to eat, he'd take whoever he was hiring out, like whoever he was interviewing, he'd take them out to get steak. And when they got their steaks, he'd pay attention to what they do with it. And he'd never hire anybody who salted and peppered his steak before tasting it. And the reason why is because that means that they would make changes and choices without understanding the company first.
Yeah.
And that's, if someone like tasted it and didn't make any changes, or if they tasted it and then made changes, that meant they were responding to the information. They weren't making assumptions about the taste before tasting it. Because
Yeah.
how are you going to know if something needs salt and pepper if you haven't tasted it yet, right?
Yeah.
You're changing things to your preference without knowing if it actually needs it. You're just assuming that it needs those things. And that's what Elon's doing right now, is he's salting and peppering his steak, but he hasn't actually tried the steak, nor does he understand how the steak was cooked. Like, a lot of the departments he's cutting are like morality departments, moderation departments, and that's scaring a lot of the big companies who are doing advertising work. Because it's like, well, you know, if you aren't going to make the effort, why, to protect our brands and make sure your site is something we want to be associated with, why would we want to be associated with you? And he doesn't get that.
Of course he does. He hasn't been told no his whole life.
I think he's been told no, he just doesn't care. Like, he's one of those people, he's one of those people who, like, if someone tells him no, he'll get rid of them until he can find someone, and, like, will pay and find someone who will only tell him yes.
Right.
I guarantee you he's been told no. He just will get rid of people until they give him the answer he wants. And that's why he goes through partners so quickly. Like, it's just, that's how his life is. He goes through people until he gets the answer he wants, which is not a good way to live. Surround yourself with people who will tell you you fucked up. And if you can't handle being told that you fucked up, then that says something about you.
I just don't understand sometimes.
It's an ego thing, and like, no one likes to be told they're wrong, but at the same time, like, yeah, there are some people who it's an ego thing, honestly. At the end of the day, it's a narcissism and ego thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really sad.
Well, who knows? He'll either be handed off to someone who paints a pretty picture for him of it, or it'll kind of fall apart.
My money's on it falling apart. I actually, allegedly, one of the former CEOs that he let go as part of the board, apparently they all got like $200 $200,000 in severance, and one of them is planning to make their own version of Twitter.
I saw that.
I'm like, I hope it works out for them, because I don't know how much longer Twitter is gonna stick around, honestly, just in terms of I don't know. I know Twitter's been kind of like, how do I explain it? It's on its like. Do you remember when Tumblr sold to Yahoo?
Yes.
This is what this feels like. Feels like Tumblr selling to Yahoo, and now it's only going to be a matter of time until people are like, I'm not interested in this anymore.
Now people are going back to Tumblr, I've been seeing.
I've been seeing that too, and I'm almost wondering if I should make one. And the reason why I think people have been going back to is I think Tumblr recently announced that they were going to allow a certain amount of not safe for work content again.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the rules behind it, but I do think people are more interested in going back to that because of that. Because they don't have to worry about their stuff being taken down for being lewd.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how things move forward from here.
Yeah, because I mean, because no one's gonna move back to Facebook, first of all.
No.
Also, second of all, my other concern is a lot of the stuff that Elon is getting rid of are like things that prevent selling of data and stuff like that. So he's probably going to start selling data like Facebook is. I imagine that Twitter is going to become a lot like Facebook, where it's just a cesspool that no one wants to interact with anymore. And I mean, we all know how Facebook/Metaverse is doing. Oh my god.
What is it with people just being like, hey, I'm gonna throw all of my billions of dollars away? What's going on with that?
I don't know. Honestly, I think what it is that some people get so rich that it causes them to be entitled. It's not even like the money. I don't even know if it's the money themselves. Mm-hmm. I didn't realize Twitter didn't. Yeah, they didn't until. But it looks like that's what. Yeah, no, they're one of the few sites that specifically did not do that. Because they didn't need to, because they had advertisers who would pay enough that they didn't have to.
Exactly, and now all the advertisers are like, hey, shit's going a little wonky over there. We want to pull out for a little bit until you stabilize, until you figure your shit out. To the tune of losing, what, $4 million a day is what he said?
Yeah, and that doesn't even include all the money that he's losing on the severance contracts. Because, like an idiot, he was like, you guys need to find $1 billion, and then lost Twitter a shit ton of money by firing majority of the staff, who apparently in their contracts had that Twitter had to give them like 6 months notice or something, or 6 weeks notice or something like that before they could let people go.
Which you think it would look into buying a new company before you go about.
Like, Twitter was smart, and I don't know if they put it in recently or if this was like an old thing, but they had a lot of protections for their employees.
Yeah.
Before Elon came in, like I said, I think each CEO got like $200,000 when they got severed, and I think there's also a class action lawsuit against Twitter now because of all this, which depending on the state, he's either going to settle with those employees or he's going to be in a very long lawsuit, because of course there's going to be a class action lawsuit when you just fire a bunch of people.
Yeah.
No reason given.
And he's also, from what I've seen, firing coders based on like how many lines of code they've written. So like
yeah, okay.
if they've written a lot, he's keeping them.
So here's what's going on is that he's making Twitter employees, like some of the engineers, sleep in the office and basically what he said is that you need to have this coded and ready to go in like a very tiny amount of time.
Yeah.
And the coders are doing it, and I guess he's letting go people who aren't doing enough. So he's threatening them with being fired. It's like, dude, that's such a terrible thing to do because, first of all, now you're pumping out something that's going to be terrible shit quality, right?
All that bloat code in there.
And second of all, now you are directly hurting your reputation with all these coders. Like, the people who are going to come work for you are not going to enjoy working for you. And then you're going to get these bottom of the barrel people who don't have the right experience, who are going to take even longer to make your project happen. Like, not... There are two people who'd work for Elon. These dude bros who want to kiss his butt.
Mm-hmm.
And then people who don't have experience and are probably desperate for a job. And both those two groups of people are not going to make the highest quality product. They're not. It's just not going to happen, no matter, especially under the constraints that he's giving them. And it's trash. And it's bad. And apparently it's tanking Tesla as well.
Good.
So he's in a world of pain, and it's just gonna get worse. And I think what's really awful about it, he's gonna lose all this money, and at the end of the day, he's not gonna be affected because his rich friends are gonna bail him out. And I think that's what drives me crazy about the whole thing. Also, did you see how shitty his Halloween costume was for Heidi Klum's Halloween party?
Oh, his like quote unquote satanic armor.
Yeah, the armor that apparently cost him like $6,000 and looked like something that was like, it cost him like a ton of money apparently. And I was looking at it and I was like, for $6,000, I could get like half of a Ren Fair store and it'd be higher quality than what he had on his body. Like, I don't know where, it looked like he ordered it off of Amazon almost.
Tomato paste? Yeah, tomato paste.
Was it really supposed to be like demon armor?
Okay, so supposedly I've stepped away from the mic. Supposedly what it is like there are some quote unquote satanic imagery, which is I guess just about fucking anything these days.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
Satanic armor. God damn it. Like, God damn it. He dated, I think what drives me nuts is he's dated a famous cosplayer. He's dated someone, so he has the resources to reach out and be like, yo, make me some cool-ass armor, and that's what he went with. Heidi Klum was there as a goddamn worm, and he showed up in that.
Money can't buy taste.
Okay, you're right. Also, I hate Teslas. They're my least favorite car. They are so... I'm sorry if you like Teslas, but they suck.
Maybe if they were better built. I don't know.
They're not even... Like, that's the thing, is that, like, if you don't live in a major city, you can't take it anywhere. You can't, because they do not have everything properly installed. If you are so screwed, it takes 15 minutes for it to charge. And like, if you're charging it home every day, that's great, but if you want to go somewhere, like on a road trip or anywhere else, you're screwed. Like, imagine having to sit 15 minutes while you're waiting for your car to charge after you're lucky enough to find a place that you can actually charge it at. Mm-hmm. Like, that's the thing, is that, like, yes, they are making these energy charging spots. Yeah. But you'd be honestly better off getting a hybrid, to be honest. So that way you can't break down at the middle of the road because you don't have enough gas power.
Yeah, that'd be. I think that's where I'm at. Like the technology isn't really. quite there enough yet. For
Not to mention all the battery fires.
yeah, I'm not too keen on getting caught in a lithium ion chemical fire. You know, something about that just doesn't appeal to me.
For sure, for sure.
Maybe I'm weird. Maybe I'm quirky.
No, you're not weird or quirky at all. Especially like anytime I go anywhere that has these like battery charge spots now, those spots are always full because they don't make enough of them. They'll make like a couple at the front. And the thing is that they're not just Tesla spots. It's any car that has those type of battery will go there. So like, yeah.
And Canadian weather rip Teslas. Oof.
Oh yeah, that's the other thing too. Like unless it's a nice weather only car. So unless you live in like Florida or like sunny California, you can't drive it. You cannot bring it anywhere.
Plus, there's so many other companies that are setting up, like, as far as I can tell, like, better electric vehicles.
Mm-hmm. The 60K price tag. And honestly, so I like nice cars, right? But I also, unless it's like a real nice car, I want my car to be utility, right? My biggest focus with my car is that it gets me to work. And that's the biggest thing that Hondas are amazing. Hondas slap. Honda is, if I could buy a Honda right now, a brand new Honda, I would.
I wanna take a second here.
Love Honda. Yep.
Ooh, look at that. That's where we're at, baby.
Oh, see, that's luxury. See, that is a stew in a $300 pumpkin pot. Gorgeous.
Yeah,
absolutely
baby.
Amazing.
Beer, fucking beef bone broth. I am living like a king right now. 1,000 years ago, you told me I'd be cooking shit like that. I would have asked you what the fuck bone broth was. I think I still ask. Okay, so back then, meat was a special occasion.
Well, yeah, but you still have the bones.
Well, yeah, but you weren't. How much cattle you had was a measure of your wealth. You weren't going to fuck up part of your wealth to make some stock.
Well, no,
right?
But you could. I mean, just my thought brain here, right? Is that you could take the bone and like dry the bone, right? And then cut that bone up into pieces and then sell them fairly like cheaply, right? Like not like super cheaply, but fairly cheaply if you were worried about making stock. Cause like didn't they do that with chicken bones pretty easily? Cause like I know like a chicken would be like, I'm gonna eat this, but like if chicken's old, you gotta kill it. So.
Yeah, but like you're not. Chicken is one thing. Beef, or even like pork. Back then, that was a whole other ball game. That was like magnitudes more expensive.
Were you not invited to a lot of rich people parties?
Once I started barding, I was.
I gotcha.
But you know, before then, I did have a life before barding. You know.
You did?
It's incredible. I know.
Oh, I wouldn't know what that's like. I always had the one life.
Well, I mean, cosmic RAM.
Space and time.
Space and time.
Moving in all directions infinitely.
Shit I lived outside of for 1,000 years. Fuck you, God.
Should have been a celestial being. Would have fixed everything.
Gosh, yeah. Let me just cross my arms, fucking bob my head down. Boom, celestial being. You've been caught in a clever ruse. I've been a celestial being this whole time.
Oh yeah, which one?
Yes. One of the lesser known Gaelic gods.
The foot god?
The foot god. Get out of here. Get out. Get out. That was a one-time thing. That was a one-time thing. I was specifically requested.
One-time thing. Oh, okay. So you're only the foot god on request. Got it.
Oh, Lubar,
Hey
thank you
guys,
for the stretch.
Pay money to see more feet action.
Yeah, if you subscribe to my OnlyFans, you get all the feet pics.
Speaking of OnlyFans, did you know Markiplier is getting an OnlyFans?
Yes, we met the requirements as a community, and I'm so proud of us.
Hell yeah, and we wanted that apparently.
Have you
there
seen
are a lot
him?
of people. I have. I'm just curious how nude he going? How nude he going? Also, my other concern is he has a lot of young fans who I could see trying to break into this OnlyFans.
Right.
Like, is this how? How
said-
only how?
He said tasteful nudes, right?
Tasteful. So is his dick gonna be out or not?
I think tasteful nudes dictates no genitalia.
Damn it. I'm not.
Okay,
Look.
that's what you were
Markiplier,
after.
if you see this, I'm so sorry.
That's what you were
Look,
after this whole
I'm
time.
sorry. I didn't. It's a joke. It was a joke. Look, technically his dick has already been out on the internet. It's just
Yeah.
it was blurred.
Yeah.
I remember the Unasanas episode.
And plus he had those calendars too.
Okay.
It's got to be
yeah, the
sexy
calendars.
calendar worthy. Yeah.
I'm honestly surprised he didn't do this sooner, considering, I don't know if you remember the photo. There was a photo he did. It was on the staircase, and he had a plaid shirt on, and it was just open, and it was, like, blowing, like, he was doing, like, a JoJo pose, almost like thing, and his abs were out, and he was doing this bend, like, and his shirt was hanging off him. And it was a photo. It was like the most skin he'd ever shown before.
Boy howdy,
And,
was it a photo.
Oh, it was a good photo. It was a really good photo. You know it's a good photo. Yeah, it was a photo. Like.
Alright, now we've got an hour and a half for this stew to stew, my dudes.
The stew.
She's stewing now.
I appreciate that you're not making a lamb stew while I'm on the call with you. That's appreciated.
Lamb is so expensive.
It is. It's honestly, for the taste. Like, don't get me wrong. I probably shouldn't say this as a rant, but
Yeah.
I have been known to enjoy the taste of lamb. That
Interesting.
said,
Okay.
I don't find it as tasty as beef, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
And I think rather than like lamb, I'd also rather have like a nice salmon or like like a good beef, a good steak, right? And or like a nice pork. I just feel like those are more flavorful flavors. Lamb and goat, they're not bad, but they're I feel like they have a little less flavor. Like I honestly think I'd rather have a nice juicy chicken than lamb.
It's been so long since I've had like an actual piece of fish.
Really?
Like outside of the occasional sushi, and even then, that's like maybe it's been at least 5 months since I've had sushi.
Yeah, I haven't had sushi in a while either. But, I feel like a lot of it has to do with where I'm living right now. There's
Yeah.
not really good sushi options here.
Mm-hmm.
When I lived
Well,
up
like
north,
how
which
far
to be
how
fair-
far inland are you?
I mean, much farther than I used to be.
Uh-huh.
About, like, I'd say a day's drive, by car. Because I don't want to give, away, on the interwebs where I am.
Everyone
I'm
is currently
definitely.
working on triangulating where you live now based on the 1 day drive to the coast.
I mean, to be fair, they could probably figure, and this is not a challenge. If someone really wanted to, they could probably very easily find out where I live.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's even then though, like I think it's just because I'm not, even though I live in a city, it's just not something people are into as much here, right? It's not a food option that a lot of people here are interested in. Because
Probably
like you
because they
could
associate
drive.
it more with like hoity-toity West Coast liberal
I don't
whatever
even know if it's.
buzzwords.
I don't even know if it's that. Um, I think it's more of they don't want the concept. First of all, it's not something that people really are raised with here because we're so far inland.
Mm-hmm.
Like when people will have fish here, it's more like, like catfish. It's like freshwater fish. Um,
I could go for some catfish.
or like fast catfish is pretty good.
Yeah.
Whereas opposed to like if you live closer to the ocean, even if you don't have like a lot of money, you're usually more exposed to those kind of things. So for example, like clams, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fried clams are not super expensive. They really
Right.
aren't.
No.
However, if you're not someone who's used to that kind of food, you're not going to eat it
Yeah.
because you don't know what it is, and it's a very different texture than like meat, right? It's very good, but it's not the same. Like one of the big things with my partner when he came to visit me, he's always lived like inland,
Yeah.
so he was trying all sorts of seafood, and I really didn't realize because I'd never lived anywhere that wasn't close to the ocean before, um, how much access I had to food that was from the ocean, like clam chowder and like even like cheaper like seafoods.
Yeah.
I just had access to it all the time. Like there was nowhere you could go that didn't have like fish and chips or like like generally decent seafood of some kind.
Yeah.
And here that's not as much of an option really because people just aren't into it because that's not what they grew up with. So oh, did they really, Lubar? Huh. Yeah, I know people. That reminds me of a really funny video of like, the game where like they drop you in a spot on Google Maps and you have to figure out where you are.
Yeah.
Um, there was this really funny video where this guy he was like, okay, just based off this foliage, I'm like somewhere in like I don't want to say Ukraine, but I'm like somewhere in like not Ukraine, but like Albania
Somewhere
or
in the
something like
Eastern
that.
Bloc. Yeah.
Yeah, somewhere there, and he's going on this whole thing, and he's like, based off the sky, this and that, I'm dead certain, and then he turns the like, where the camera was pointed, and there's a huge sign, and I already knew he was not there, because I recognize that type of foliage from having lived where I have lived before. He turns, there's a giant welcome to New Jersey sign.
Oh.
Like, oh no, that was sure. The absolute and utter disappointment. And that was at that point that I remembered that, yes, New England foliage is very unique to
Mm-hmm.
where it is. But anyway, what was I talking about before that?
Holy shit! I pulled out the exact right amount of kale for this. Wow.
Wow, congrats.
Well, now I've got so much fucking kale now. Holy shit. Perry's gonna be eating
Nice.
good.
Spoiled bunny boy.
Oh god, I fucked something up here.
Uh-oh.
Never mind, we're good. I fixed it.
How is Perry?
He's good. Yeah. He's doing bunny things. Where is he, actually? I haven't heard him running around recently. Make sure he's not hiding somewhere.
I mean, you know he's up to no good. You're streaming, so he's got to be up to something.
I am currently looking for a rabbit.
Here, bunny, bunny, bunny.
My son.
You know
where
what?
are
You know what I bet you it is? He heard you were making stew and he didn't want to be the main dish, so he hid. He's like, not me, not today.
Are you under the couch?
Perry! Bunny, bunny!
Are you under my bed?
Bunny, bunny, bunny! Here, bunny, bunny! Did you find him?
I did not.
Huh.
Huh.
Hmm.
Well, let me check something.
Okie doke. You know, this kind of reminds me of a video I saw the other day of, so I don't know why this person had their house set up like this, but they had like a back room where the bottom part of the back room had been, like the wall had been cut open for like a storage space or something, for access to something. And instead of blocking off the inside of the wall that was on the other side, the person who set up the thing did not do that. So it was like this open chunk of wall with a little bit of like flooring in between that and the next wall. And then like, you know how like the boards, like inside your wall, right? You have the layer of plaster, you have the outer wall, and then you have like these pieces of board that go in between the plaster and the actual wall, right?
Yeah.
So this person had to take a hammer to their wall because their cat, like a dum-dum, had decided to climb down into the wall from this like crawl space they had. So they had to hammer open their walls to figure out where the cat had fallen. And when they showed how the cat got in there, everyone's like, why is this not blocked off? Why are you letting your cat run around and play in this area after one just fell down into your wall? That's like super unsafe. It's just
So when I first moved in here into this apartment with a partner, right? We had cats at the time as well as Perry.
Oh goodness.
And so there was one really weird section of the kitchen cabinetry which just went like straight, kind of made this a path straight to the back wall.
Oh.
Both Perry and one of the cats found this pathway.
Oh no.
Like the first night.
Oh no.
Perry went in there first. And it was a whole process trying to get him out of there. Like eventually it turned into like I had to reach my hand into one of the corner cabinets and like try and scare him out of there.
Oh no.
It was a whole thing. So this is the kale and the potatoes for the coal cannon that we're also doing. And we're not doing it right now because it really only takes like half hour, 45 minutes.
Fair enough, fair enough.
Because it's mashed potatoes, so like, what the fuck.
So that kind of reminds me, not my current partner, my ex. So my ex, he had adopted these cats, and he had never really been a pet owner before, so he didn't understand how pets worked. And we were moving these pets into his new apartment, right?
Yeah.
Like an idiot, he did not understand that you cannot keep cats in their carriers for too long.
Yeah.
And I kept like, I was like, okay, I'm gonna move the cat, blah blah blah. Um, I was kind of fed up with him on a lot of things regarding those cats. But anyway, so I moved the cat. I'm getting ready to move the cats in. I'm like, hey, when can I let the cats out of their carrier?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, just leave them in there. We're moving stuff in. You know, it's going to be a couple hours. I'm like, no, 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 no. You cannot leave the cats in there with no bathroom and no water for a couple hours. You cannot do that.
Yeah.
Like like it's one thing if you like are traveling a long distance. We were not traveling a long distance,
Mm-hmm.
and you have to leave them in there. But even then, like they were not set. Like they didn't have towels or anything. So if they peed or anything like that, it was gonna be gross, and they were gonna be sitting in their own piss. Not okay. So eventually, I'm like, look, why don't we just move what we need to into that one room, close that room, and then we'll move everything into the living room. It was a whole thing, but eventually he like lets me let the cats out, and I don't know why he did this. When they brought in the under part for the bed frame,
Yeah.
they put it up against the wall. I don't know why they didn't just lay it down on the floor, but they put it up against a wall, and I let the cats out so that way they could go to the bathroom, do whatever they needed to do. You know, they weren't. One of them, there was a hole in the bottom of the bed frame, like the fabric part of it, because it was like a wooden bed frame and then it was covered with fabric.
Yeah.
So the cat was like, "Okay, I'm in a new place. I feel insecure. Let me climb up into the bed frame."
Let me find the nearest hole to go be in.
Exactly, and it was just like, God damn it. So, but yeah, the whole thing, there was a whole thing with those cats. He did not take good care of those cats. Like, just to give you an idea, there was a spot, so his entire apartment had carpet on it, right?
Yeah.
He did not clean out he would not clean out the litter boxes. He just wouldn't.
What?
So when he went to move out, like I'd go there like maybe a couple times a week, and I'd have to clean them out because he wouldn't clean them. He'd like forget to clean them out.
That's like cat care 101.
Yeah, that you're supposed to, and I told him multiple times, you gotta clean these out at least once a day, maybe twice, depending how much they're going. But you have two cats. I think he had two cats, and he was not cleaning out their litter box. And they had one shared litter box.
Ugh.
It was disgusting. And he wound up putting their litter box in a corner in like a space that he was using as, I don't even know if it was like a second bedroom or an office or whatever. Anyway, he was keeping them in there, and they wound up ruining a corner of the office because, you know, they started peeing out of the litter box and onto the floor. Like, they'd go into the litter box and they pee off the corner because he didn't put the top cover onto it for whatever reason. I don't know. Anyway, when he goes to move out, I'm like, you need to make sure you clean this corner really, really good. He did not. He didn't get his deposit back. He's like, I don't get it. Like, I cleaned it really well. And I'm like, I tried to clean it as best as I could for you. But this is, you know, results of your own actions because you did not take care of cleaning out their litter box. Because if you don't clean out their litter box, cats will piss somewhere else. They do not care. They are not going to piss where it's dirty. It's just really sad. The cats were like well fed and stuff, at least, but like.
Oh, thank you for the hydrate and posture check, Nicola.
I'm not going to talk too much about him because he had a lot of things I was not happy with. But anyway, it doesn't matter anymore because I'm thousands of miles away from him.
Let's go.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. So I'm much happier now, and hopefully, I'm hoping I'm gonna wait until after we go on vacation. But hopefully, after we go on this cruise that my partner wants us to go on, we'll be able to get a new pet, and that'll be really cool.
Nice.
Because we actually have money for pets now. I don't know if it's gonna be a cat or a dog. We're gonna figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's gonna be really nice. It's gonna be good. I'm excited for it.
Ooh. I fucked something up. Good.
Also, I will say that like cats are super. Out of all the pets you could get, cats are some of the easiest pets to take care of. Like
Yeah.
literally, all you really gotta do is clean out their litter box and then feed them. That's all you gotta do. Like feed them twice a day and clean out their litter box once, maybe twice a day if they need it.
Yeah.
That's it. Super easy. And
They're
like, obviously you should
super
play with them,
independent.
but... Exactly. Exactly. So you know if you're not doing that bare minimum, you probably shouldn't have pets. Period.
Yeah.
Like it's not even like with goldfish, right? Where you got to make sure the water's the right temp and make sure you clean out the water and all that shit. No, you just gotta clean out the litter box and feed them. That's it. And they will they will chill, they will nap, get them a couple toys, they'll entertain themselves. You know, give them some pets. Really easy to take care of, unless you get a naked or a super fluffy cat, in which case that'll be more difficult. But that's another story.
Yeah, you got a bit more things to do on that. With that one. Like, even some like, or like if you get an older cat or a disabled cat, like we also had a three-legged cat who had, had a bad eye, a bad ear. Couldn't process protein very well.
Oh no.
And I was saying to my partner at the time, like, hey, we've already got 2 cats. Do we really need a third one?
Oh my god, my ex did that too. Sorry, go ahead.
And she tugged at my heartstrings a little bit. Like, fine. We were a comfortable place to die. Pretty much.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Like his old owners had died. He was left homeless for a little while. It was a whole thing.
Oh, poor thing.
Yeah. He lasted a lot longer than I thought he was going to, honestly.
Oh.
Yeah. So, and there's a lot of care that goes into older and disabled cats too.
Yeah. For sure. My mom's cat, we've had her, I don't even know how old she is. I want to say she's like 14 going on 15 years old. And so she has that like disease that some cats get where they don't know when they're full, where they always feel hungry, so they overeat a ton. And she would just eat and gain weight, but she'd always be hungry, always hungry.
Yeah.
So she doesn't like a lot of affection, doesn't like to be touched. However, she requires medication now, and you have to trick her into letting you apply the medication because she doesn't like how it feels on her ears. Because we tried to give her the oral stuff, but she would not eat it. Like we tried every trick we could, would not eat it. So we had to use the ear stuff, and she hates it, and she doesn't like being touched or anything like that. So she's a real brat about everything.
Oh, just like Perry.
Yep. Yeah. I love her though. She's so fucking cute. Like, she's this little calico, pudgy little body, and she's so adorable. But she does not like affection at all. But I love her. But anyway, my ex. So my ex had 2 cats. One was a little bit older. I want to say he was like 8, and then he had this kitten. And he got them all while I was with him. Originally, he had an orange cat, but he wound up rehoming the orange cat because the orange cat was his first cat, and we had adopted it from someone who had been taking care of him because so his story was this. His original owner passed away from some sort of heart condition, right?
Yeah.
Our friend was taking care of him for the owner's niece, who was supposed to come back and get him and never did. He wasn't getting along with her cats, and he was just stuck behind the stove because he did not like any of her cats, and she had to get him a new home.
Mm-hmm.
He was immediately much happier being a single cat.
Oh yeah. Some cats just are.
Yeah. My partner did not get along with this cat because he'd never had a cat before, and he was kept trying to treat the cat like a dog. Like, he gave the cat a bath and was like, the cat scratched me and it was mad at me and blah 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 blah. I'm like, yeah, because you don't bathe cats. Why were you bathing him? He bathes himself. He doesn't need a bath. Why did you give him a bath?
Yeah.
He's like, well, and I was like, I don't understand what you were thinking. You gave him a bath. What possessed you to do that? I've never told you once to do that.
Yeah.
Ooh. But anyway, he didn't like the cat, and I think he was mad the cat liked me more than him. So anyway, he gets this tortie. The same friend finds this stray tortie, and she's super friendly, super sweet, and he wants to keep her because she's a friendly cat.
Yeah.
So he takes her in, locks her in another room, takes her to end him, the orange cat, to the vet. She's clean, nothing wrong with her. The orange tabby has a immunity disease that probably would never affect him, but he could pass it on to other cats. So because of this, he decides to rehome the orange cat. We put it in with the foster system, which absolutely broke my heart. I was in love with this cat. And last day he was with us, he actually sat on my lap for the first time. I was so heartbroken. But I'm sure he's happy wherever he is. Came a long way. Like, when we first got him, he wouldn't even sit on the furniture. That's how scared he was of the other cats. And I had gotten him to feel comfortable enough to sit on furniture again. And then so that happened.
Mm-hmm.
We had already rehomed the cat. He has this tortie, in love with the tortie. Decides from, again, the same person to take on this black cat. And he takes on the black cat because she's trying to, he's bothering, like, this other cat this person has that she's taken in that she's pretty sure is pregnant. Cat is not pregnant. She's just kind of a bitch, and it turns out she's the problem cat. But anyway,
Funny how that works sometimes.
he takes him in, so now he has 2 cats. He wanted 2 cats. Okay, fine, we have these 2 cats. He likes both of them, takes care of them. Asks me all the time to help me chip in money for these cats. And I'm like, okay, I chip in money here and there, and I already help him with groceries when I can, and at this point, I'd already helped him with rent a bunch of times. To the point where he was asking me, like, for an extra $100 a month, and I'd tell him, no, I'm not helping him with that shit anymore. Yeah,
these gamers, hey, Retta.
But I'd still, like, buy groceries and stuff, because I'd eat the groceries, and that made sense to me. But anyway, and we were both poor. So anyway, he moves into this other apartment, finally moves into a third apartment. The second apartment was where he lost his deposit because he wasn't cleaning out the litter box.
Yeah.
And he's living in this new apartment. It's not a great apartment, but it works for what he has. And he's always complaining to me that I'm not chipping in enough to help with the cats, that he can't afford the cats, blah 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 blah.
Motherfucker, don't get the cats if you can't afford them. Sorry.
Oh no, for sure. But he's always, like, talking about this, and I'm like, okay, alright, well, maybe you took on a little more than what you meant to, because it's your first time having pets, and your first time living alone. We find out one of the cats needs surgery because he has a lump on his back. Don't really know what the lump is, but he needs surgery to find out. It's gonna run us like $1,000 or whatever, okay? I'm like, all right, we're just gonna have to stay up, figure something out. I don't know what we're gonna do, but we're gonna need some time. Again, I'm not
Okay.
living with him yet. He wants me to live with him, but I'm not living with him yet. I just have this terrible pit in my stomach that's like, don't move in with this man right now.
Good on
And
you.
I couldn't afford it. Like, I could not honestly afford to move in with him and live on my own. That was my situation, and I didn't want to move out and still rely on my mom and ask her for money and stuff. I just couldn't,
Okay.
I just
Real
couldn't afford
quick.
it.
Real quick. So this is going to be the mulled wine that I will
Ooh.
be drinking once Yule comes around.
Oh,
So this is going to... This whole mixture I've got here is going to sit in my pantry.
ooh.
Yep,
Okay,
yeah,
sorry.
yeah. Is going to be sitting in my pantry for like a month and a half.
Ooh.
So I just had the corkscrew. Where the fuck did it go? Ah, there it is. So this is a recipe I've been using for years. Like, I usually make 2 batches of this stuff, one for myself for Yule, and then another one for any sort of family Christmas event that may or may not go on, right?
Mmm.
And it's,
Gotcha.
and it's just good,
It sounds good. My partner keeps wanting to make some mead and stuff, but we've yet to have time to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But that sounds really good.
That pop, yeah.
Oh.
Okay,
Okay,
my spiel is done. Continue.
Okie doke. But anyway. Oh, look at that color though. That color's so nice.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so he's already complaining about, like, asking me to help with food for the cats and help with their vet bills and blah blah blah. And like, okay, I get it. I also wanted cats and stuff, and I'm the one who encouraged him to get pets because he never had pets before.
Yeah.
But like, I help with groceries when I can. At this point, I had already stopped helping him with rent because I refused to do it anymore. Because honestly, it was just irresponsible. Because he would like spend. Basically, what was happening is he was having a hard time. He was an impulse spender. He'd see something he really wanted, and he'd get that, and he wouldn't save. And then at the end of the month, he would be short like $20, $100, whatever for rent.
Oof.
And I was just like, it's not my problem anymore because I can't do it anymore. And I would tell him, I think he was kind of jealous because at the time I would spend money and he'd be like, well, you can't spend that money because like he couldn't spend that money. And I'd be like, no, I can spend this money because I don't have rent. And
Got
he didn't
disposable
like that.
income, bitch.
Yeah, he didn't like that answer. He didn't like that I had disposable income, and he didn't because I didn't spend my money all the time impulsively. But also, I'd be like, listen, I still have help from my mom. I still live with my mom. Because this was like, I was fresh out of college, like, time period. I'm like,
Yeah.
I have disposable income that I'm going to spend on things because I have a fault. Like, if I overspend by accident, I'm not going to be homeless. And I hate to put it that way to you, but that's the reality of it.
Yeah.
And he did not like that. But anyway, his neighbor had an outdoor cat
Oh no.
that they did not spay because fucking dumbasses. Sorry, I don't know them. I didn't know them, but he was like a friend of my now ex, who he had known before he moved in there, who just happened to be the neighbor, which was cool. That's cool. But anyway, they didn't spay their cat, and their cat got pregnant and had kittens.
Oof.
My ex decided he wanted one of these kittens.
God
Um, and I was like, I don't think it's a good idea. I don't think you should do it because you're having a hard time with the cats you have, right? He went ahead and did it anyway. I'm like, oh, you want to do this? That's fine. That's perfectly fine. I wound up getting to name this cat, but however, so when you bring a new cat, especially a kitten, into a situation, you're supposed to keep them separate from the other cats.
Yes.
Guess what he did not do?
That exact thing.
Yeah. He told me he was getting the kitten. I was like, all right, I'll come over, we'll set everything up for them so that way they can have their own separate room. Him and the neighbor, I come in, him and the neighbor, the cat is scared, hiding under a desk in the other room. And the other two cats have already come up to it. It's not separated at all. He's in a new space for the first time, away from his mom for the first time, and he's traumatized already.
Jesus Christ.
And he's already, apparently, the kittens were not socialized very well before they started giving them away. They'd hide under the couch and stuff all the time, and they would not socialize them.
Yeah.
So they're already skittish, and this cat's already nervous, and now they've traumatized it. And I'm just like, God fucking damn it. Are you serious? Because I told him 20 times, hey, we gotta, this is the steps we gotta go through to socialize these cats, so that way we know they get along. Luckily, it wound up working out, and the cats wound up getting along eventually. But it took a while. And even then, he was still, pretty skittish. He actually wound up talking shit about it. It was, his least favorite cat, because the cat was, skittish, and it would run around a lot because it was a kitten, and it was not like his other cats, so he immediately didn't like it. He talked badly about it.
Whatever.
And then he continued to complain. He's like, it's so expensive, everything's so expensive, why can't you chip in towards the cats? I'm like, you not being able to afford 3 cats after I told you not to get a 3rd cat is not my problem, dude. You chose to get a 3rd cat after I told you specifically not to. I just...
You just can't fix stupid.
Yeah, and this was just one of many issues in our relationship at that point. He wanted me to move in. I didn't want to move in. At that point, I didn't know. It was I don't know, it was one of those things that has your subconscious ever known something before you did?
Oh, yeah.
What'd you say?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was one of those situations at that point where my subconscious knew it wanted nothing to do with this man, because we had already broken up a bunch and gotten back together a bunch. And I don't know why I kept going back to him. I guess I thought I couldn't do any better, or that was how relationships were supposed to be. I don't know. Anyway, I wasn't exactly a fantastic partner either, but when it's your first partner, you gotta learn some things the hard way, I guess. But anyway, just to give you an idea of how badly that relationship kind of ended, towards the end of our relationship, a bunch of stuff that had happened, and I was pretty much coming to the conclusion I really need to break up with him for real. There was New Year's or something like that. I'd fallen asleep, and I'd asked him, hey, if I fall asleep, wake me up in time to see the ball drop, right?
Uh-huh.
Apparently, anytime he had tried to wake me up, it was becoming a reoccurring thing. Anytime he tried to wake me up for anything, I'd start swearing at him. And I'd have no recollection of this happening. He'd be like, you swear at me, you freak out on me, and I wouldn't remember any of it. You'd be mad at me, and oh my god, really? I have no recollection of any of this happening. He's like, I'm not going to do it anymore, I'm not going to try to wake you up for anything anymore, because you always get mad, and you always swear at me. And I was like, I don't remember this. Because it'd never been a problem before, The only other time that it ever happened to me was when my brother, growing up, my parents would send him to wake me up in middle school to high school.
Yeah.
So I'd start flipping him off and calling him a bitch and stuff like that because he's my little brother.
Fuck.
Apparently, I started doing this to my ex in my sleep while I was still half asleep because he was waking me up. No one else other than my little brother have I ever had that issue with. And I think that was the moment that I realized, oh, my subconscious doesn't like this man anymore.
Yeah.
That was the big moment where I was like, oh, huh. I mean, there was another moment before that where I asked him to come with me on a trip, and I made it very clear that he was being invited as emotional support for Christmas, and he made that trip. It was already gonna not be a great trip, but he made it so much worse than it had to be. So that was another big thing. But anyway, he got a third cat directly after I told him not to, and it was always one of the things that drove me absolutely nuts. Because if you can't afford a pet and you already have pets, don't get more pets. Don't do that to the pet.
Yeah. Oh. I don't know. Some people just seem to be like almost like obsessed. Not so much with having pets, but with getting pets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they'll get the pet and be like, "Oh, I love this pet. It's great. Perfect baby." And then some time goes on and they're already looking at another pet, a completely different animal when they're already not taking very good care of the one that they like just got.
Yeah.
Or like, a pet will pass, and then within the week they're, looking at other pets to try and sort of
Fill the void.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't get it. And like I don't know. I definitely like if I get one pet, I like to get another one if I don't already have another one just cuz I like to have I don't know, like if I have a cat, I prefer to have two cats rather than one just
Yeah.
because you spend so much time by themselves if I'm at work or something like that. And I'm like, I don't want them to be completely alone, you know? That's kind of my reasoning. But at the same time, like yeah, definitely, especially if it's your first pet, don't get more pets right away unless you have a reasoning behind it, you know? I One of the biggest mistakes people make is that they'll get two dogs. Like so dogs don't get two dogs from the same litter.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do that. If you're gonna get a dog, get one dog. See how you do with the one, and then get another one from a different litter. Because if you get two dogs from the same litter, they're constantly going to fight each other. That's just how they are. And I don't know, it's just it's never a good idea. And it's just also like a little bit scary how little research some people do for pets sometimes before they get them. Because like some of the stuff is like, hey, do a quick Google search, and then some of it's like, okay, there are like 12 steps on how you need to do this just right.
Yeah.
So,
And like some people think that certain pets are just easy when they're really a bit more complicated than all that. Like rabbits, people think it's they're small so they don't live very long, or like, oh, they're so easy. It's really not that at all. Like you get a baby rabbit, that's 10 to 15 years you're dedicating yourself to right there.
yeah.
And that's 10 to 15 years of, making sure that they're taken care of, that they're brushed, that they're not getting anything, like any like soft poop in their fur, that they're getting their nails trimmed, that their teeth are properly, ground
Shortened.
down. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, like, every year when like Easter comes around, people are getting People are getting rabbits for their kids, and domesticated rabbits are so fragile. Like they will break their spine trying to get away from you if you're not handling them properly. You can scare a rabbit to death. You can give it a heart attack.
Oh.
And so it's like people just don't really like they don't really look into this kind of stuff. They just figure, it's a rabbit. How hard could it be? No, it's a whole thing. So you get a lot of rabbits that get abandoned or like just and people are also under the impression you can just like put them back outside. No.
No.
Domestic rabbits and wild rabbits are
very different.
They're so physiologically different at this point. Domestic rabbits have no like survival instincts.
They're so fat.
They are head empty, no thought.
They don't even like if you look at the body difference between them two, they're not made for running away. They're not made for being quick and fast. They literally sit there and do nothing.
They can run away from a person pretty well.
Not a hawk.
Not a hawk, not a hound, nothing.
Yeah, they'll get fucked up and die immediately. Yeah. They don't even know how to make their own shelters, right?
They do still have the digging instinct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My favorite video of domesticated bunnies are the little angry thump videos.
Oh yes, the thumpings. Oh. For his size, Perry has a pretty good thump.
Yeah.
Like it resonates.
Oh.
He's got powerful little legs. Like holy shit.
So angry, so small, so angry.
Such an angry boy. So, now that we have a moment where I'm not doing anything, I'm more waiting on anything than doing anything, I think it's time to take some time and have a little talk about, Samhain as a holiday. Most people are more familiar with the Christianized Halloween, and if you're Catholic, you also got the All Saints Day. But what about Samhain? What was the point?
Wow. Of what?
Of Samhain. It was.
Of what?
Samhain. The holiday. Samhain, the holiday that we're doing right now.
Oh. Okay, so this is. Yeah, I always read it as Samhain. Salmon.
Nah. That's what the English would have you believe.
English.
The
Our
English. The
You
Samhain.
hear that, Spec? We're talking about you. Sorry, go ahead.
We're coming for you. So.
Go ahead.
No. So Samhain was a Celtic pagan festival. It was about not mourning the dead, but honoring and celebrating. And also trying to make sure you didn't get fucked up by spirits in the meantime. That's where we get a lot of the things that we associate with Halloween, the carving of jack-o'-lanterns, which started out as turnips instead of pumpkins. Dressing up in disguises so that spirits wouldn't recognize us. BRB, yeah. Giving out treats to appease the spirits. And so, I don't specifically have anyone to honor this time of year, because there wasn't really a death in the family that affected me. We did lose someone in the family, but it was a part of the family that I wasn't really close to, so it didn't affect me all that much. But naturally, there's still someone to consider. But what we do have, I see food. Yes, food. The food is nearly complete, and we're getting to the actual reason for the season. I don't have a whole lot of deaths to talk about this year, but within the community, the VTubing community, there have been a lot of graduations this year. A lot of untimely graduations. A lot of that kind of stuff. So, can I sip that? Do you want to sip the cream? Do you want the cream? Yes. Oh. You know what? I'm not going to stop you. Go for it. Where was I going with this? Yeah. So I have a lot more graduations that I would like to honor, and I have dead I would like to honor.
I'm back. If you hear something in the background, Griff came home very briefly in the middle of his shift, and he's seeing if we can install a new, whatever you call it, thing that, thermometer thing. It detects, like, heat.
Yeah.
And then heats your house accordingly.
You are just in time. I was about to start talking about graduations. I wanted to commemorate, and the VTubers therein I wanted to honor. Do you have any graduations that made you especially just sad?
Me?
Yeah. Any graduations from this year?
Oh, is that this year? I guess.
There's been a lot of them, so it's understandable.
There's been a lot. I know Brandon Urig's made me really, really sad.
Yeah.
I mean, it was the sadness was also followed by surprise, but that's a different story. But I was when he announced that he was graduating, it made me sad because he was a comfort streamer for me, and at the time it really broke my heart. I was like, oh no, because everyone has their comfort streamer, and I was just surprised because he had just released like a second model. He had just gotten a full body. Like, his original model was a half body. He had just gotten a full body. I was like, oh my god, what could have happened? So it was a rough day for me that day.
Yeah, and it came out
I
of
think
nowhere too, didn't it?
there's a lot of VTubers who, I don't think it was really this year, but the year before, I lost a lot of my favorite VTubers. I assume because they went on to bigger and better things. Wink Wonk.
Yeah.
May Mint was a really big one for me. I liked her a lot. there was also an idol VTuber who I really liked, um, who graduated. But to be honest, oh no, well, I don't know if it counts as a graduation so much, because, sorry, saying goodbye to Griff real quick. He has to go back to his
Yep.
shift. Um, there's, I don't know, was Coco this year or was she last year?
Oh God, she was last year.
Yeah, that's the thing, is that a lot of the graduations, I'm like blurring on who was this year and who was last year, right?
Yeah.
Um, Coco was a big one for me at the time, because we didn't know what was going to happen with her next.
Yeah.
Um, there were some that were not graduations and just immediate cutoffs.
Oh, there were a lot of those last year, wasn't there? Fuck, and a couple
Yeah.
of them that the group even straight up like doxed the people that they
Oh
had
yeah,
terminated.
yeah. Yep, there was one of the people. Yeah, they did that. Oh, which group was that? Was it Niji?
No, that was Wactor, wasn't it?
I think so. But also, it's been crazy. I feel like personally, I feel like last year there was a lot of graduations.
Suspiciously clustered together.
Um,
Yeah.
This year, I think there's been a lot less graduations.
Uh-huh.
Like, I feel like, so VTubing got popular really quick, and I feel like there were a lot of graduations all of a sudden. And then after, like, we had this period, there were just graduation after graduation, and now I feel like we're, like, more settled in, so to speak.
Uh-huh.
So people are less likely to graduate. I also feel like, this is gonna sound funny, I feel like VTuber, like, corporate groups are not growing as fast anymore.
Yeah.
So that's also, you know, slowing down graduations. But overall, I just feel like we're more stable now, right? Also, speaking of graduations and stuff, Shoujo still has not announced who the new streamers from the original, like from their, did they, I know they said that they're going with different VTubers than, they're like gonna have more VTubers for the auditions they did.
Yeah.
But it's been a really long time. Like, I would have thought that they were debuted by now.
Yeah. I thought that was a little weird.
I don't know if they're waiting for something, or if they're gonna announce them in the new year or something. But
Yeah, oh, who knows? So I know for me.
understandable Lubar, but
No.
sorry, go ahead.
I know for me, I talked about the Go-Go Neapolitan girls earlier.
Yeah.
Who else? I know I was real broken up about Sana graduating.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that.
'Cause, you know, she was another one. I really liked her stuff. She was entertaining. She just ran into some bad timing, I guess. Things just didn't really work out for her, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because she always had something going on. Yes, hi, Emmy.
Hi, Emmy!
I'm late. It's alright. You know who I was really sad to see go?
Who?
Rushia.
Oh, yeah.
And then like
didn't
everything
really-
afterwards, she just didn't help herself. Like in the
She-
time following.
I think one of my questions though is how I don't know how old she is in actuality,
Yeah.
and to me, she always felt like she's just. If she ever sees this, my apologies if I'm wrong, but she just seemed underexperienced. And
If Rushia sees this, I'm going to lose my fucking mind. What did I miss?
I
You know, just a few things. Don't worry. Don't worry
I
about
know
it. There's
she'll
still
ever see
plenty of
it, but
content.
you know, it's one of those things where like I cover my butt anyway because everything's on the internet forever, so you never know who's gonna see it, right? But I don't just felt. I think a lot of it came with inexperience with dealing with situations and frustration. You know. Well, yeah, Alchemist for sure, for sure. Uh, she's quote unquote back, wink wonk. Um, but regardless of that fact, um, at the time, it just felt like a lot of her decisions were results of emotional choices and inexperience. And
Yeah.
I don't blame her.
Well, I guess even as Mike Neko, you remember that whole week where she tried like responding to Cover's official thing?
Oh, I didn't see that. No.
Oh yeah. So as Mike Neko, she tried responding to everything that Cover said about, you know, the reason for her termination, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like, you know, whatever. The reasons just weren't very good.
Uh-huh.
Like what she was saying, Cover was like, hey, no, that's fucking wrong.
Ah.
And you know, they stood by their decision, right? And then we didn't hear anything from Mika and Echo for a while. Well, apparently, now she's gone and started drama with another presumed to be former Hololive member.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that.
Delta Ryu, yeah.
She, the one who used to be, the one who was, like, terminated before, like, really early into her, after, it was either really early after her debut or whatever.
Yeah.
She got terminated super early.
What are you doing, Eb? Right now, we are mixing together the potato and kale for the cold cannon.
So what are they having beef about? I didn't even understand.
So, according to what I've seen, there was some kind of drama between the two of them that may not even have any basis. Like it was something that Mike Neko had heard from another drama tuber, which, you know, it seems to work out great for her.
She needs to stop talking to drama tubers, frankly. But anyway, go ahead.
Seems to work out great for her. Apparently, what the drama tuber had said was that Delta, I don't know how to pronounce her name. She's great though. She recently got a fully rigged 2D model. She looks great. Very, very cute. Apparently, what she heard from this drama tuber was Delta was talking shit about her for whatever reason. And Mike Neko took that as invitation to talk shit about her. You know, totally reasonable thing to do as an adult. And so this turned into a whole thing. Delta reached out to Mike Neko to be like, hey, what the fuck, man? Mike said, I'm not gonna talk about any of this unless you come with a lawyer. Delta said bet. got a lawyer, and now she's still refusing to really try and work to hash this thing out.
She was just being really stubborn about
Yeah.
apologizing for what she said, even though we don't know for sure if the other person even talked shit about her.
Exactly. I don't know. Like, I want talk to my lawyer. Exactly. I want to feel bad for her. I want to feel bad for her because she lost such a great gig, honestly. Because I'm pretty sure she's got something mentally going on too.
Yeah, like I know one of the big things is she has a lot of anxiety, and I don't even remember it all, but I remember that there was some discussion that she was going through some struggles that prompted some of her decision making for her
Yeah.
previous issues.
Yeah. So I want to feel bad for her, but she's making it so hard to. You know, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I get
I'm
that,
sad.
I get you.
I'm sad to have seen Marushia go. She was great. Her stuff was fun. Not all of it was to my taste. You know, the girlfriend experience stuff. I'm not really into that.
Yep. Gotcha.
And so no, I'm not going to be doing boyfriend experience stuff. You're not gonna get ASMR of me fucking you or whatever it is Vox does these days.
Oh my god! We're not gonna get Otome roleplay.
Exactly.
Otome dating sim roleplay.
We don't do that here.
We don't do that here.
I'm not gonna tweet one day. Oh yeah, we're in a relationship. We're fucking. We're not. It's not the kind of channel that this is.
My illusion has been shattered.
I know.
Emmy Tiki.
I know.
What are we gonna do without this content?
What are we gonna do? Indeed. I truly have ruined everything for you. I apologize.
It's okay. I always have secrets content to lie back on. just go get eaten by a spider.
There you go.
Secret, if you see this, I love you and your content's amazing. Sorry.
We love and appreciate you.
Yeah, I had to make the joke.
But it's just like that kind of stuff doesn't appeal to me. But she was a good entertainer, you know.
Yeah.
So it
for sure.
It was kind of sad to see her go, but to see everything afterwards, she's kind of I don't know what the word I'm looking for is here. But like she's kind of killed any sympathy I may have had for her.
Yeah, I haven't really been watching her too closely. Her new model, I hate to say it, her new model, well, very well made, makes me uncomfortable. So it makes it very difficult for me to watch her.
Yeah, it goes a little too far into looking small, doesn't it?
Yeah, and I think if her top wasn't so translucent, like it's just goes into a territory that I understand that there are small people in the world.
Yes.
But there's a certain point that I just feel not comfy anymore as a female who has seen the anime world lewd minors, and not just fictional minors, like minors of all ages, and put them into not so great positions. It makes me uncomfy. It makes me uncomfortable. And I know that could attract some attention by saying that, but there's certain models in the universe that make me a little uncomfy.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
there's
I
some
did the
really
potatoes
famous
juice.
models that make me uncomfy. Oh no.
It's fine. It's fine. Trust. But yeah, no, I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, don't get me wrong. Oh god, I hope this doesn't sound sus. I am a fan of, a smaller chest.
Mhm.
I am a God, what? How do I navigate this? It's fine to be uncomfy, but don't go witch hunting people. Yeah, absolutely. We're not about to go onto someone's Twitter and be like, hey, you look like you're 12. Fuck off.
Yeah, I mean, there is one exception I will make to that, and that was a specific VTuber who
Did you get the
specifically
pumpkin
made
pop?
an uncomfy model, labeled it as a uncomfy model, and then
I
I mean,
did.
he did get the
I
pumpkin pot. He got
did.
the very expensive pumpkin pot.
Look at it.
Like obviously don't witch hunt, but I remember
No.
there was one person who I did place judgment on. No, I don't think I said anything publicly,
Yeah.
but I did. I was outspoken about being uncomfy with, because in this particular case, they were an uncomfy model, and then they had purposely. Long story short, they were a lolly succubus, and their character was decidedly underage, and it was very not good. Like they clearly knew what they were doing.
Which they moved on from, but people were still. Yeah, that's bullshit. Like if they've decided, hey, maybe I don't do this, and people are still like, I don't know.
I don't know.
That's kind of
There, I think there were some other complicated situations with that. I don't know about that anymore, because that was a thing that happened, and it was one of those things where it was like, I'm gonna say a thing about this just so people are clear that I'm not okay with this, and then I moved on with my life, which, completely fair.
I should
But yeah, there are some people at the same time who don't let anything go, and it becomes difficult in those situations too. Because at the same time, I don't think you should go out of your way to make someone's life miserable. However, at the same time, no one owes anyone forgiveness. They farm drama mill, which plenty of drama VTubers do. Hate the EN VTuber game. Here's the thing though, that's a thing in any creative space. That's not just an EN VTuber thing, that's content creation as a whole. And that's unfortunately one of the things that is very icky with content creation, is people farm the drama, and it gets really icky. And it's an unfortunate part, and it's not even just in like English, content creation spaces. This is a thing in Chinese and Japanese spaces too. It just takes on a very different form. And I think Rushi is actually a really good. I hate to say it this way, but Rushi is a very good example of that being in a different form.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't look the same, but unfortunately, using drama to your advantage is, yeah, it's a thing for sure. But it is what it is at this point. It's one of the things. I don't know if that'd be a good idea right now since it's cooking.
Can I see the button? Oh god. Alright, let me see if I can find him.
We gotta find the bunny, because you don't understand. Ever went looking for the bunny earlier, and he was yeeted, not in existence. We're not quite sure where he is. He went somewhere, I'm sure. We've been talking about him. We have been talking about the Perry. For sure, for sure.
Alright, he has come out of whatever hidey hole he was in earlier.
Emmy summoned him.
The banana god has summoned me. Maybe after everything is done, I will try and pick him up, get him on camera.
The angry little man.
The Anki.
He's so small and angry. You know whose content I really like, but their model, I don't, never mind. You know what? I'm not gonna say anything. We're gonna switch topics because
Okay.
I don't want to attract that kind of attention to either me or you. But anyway, you know whose design I really, really like?
Also, this looking good. Oh yeah, it's all coming together real nice. Just you wait. Just
Don't
you
want
wait.
drama.
Yeah.
Don't
Once I get
want
everything into camera, we're gonna be eating good with our eyes. But before that, look at the mulled wine all set up. Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
This is gonna sit in my pantry for a month and a half. Everything getting to know each other real well. So
Beautiful color.
So Yule this year.
Mm-hmm.
It happens on a Wednesday, right?
Is it?
Which obviously I can't just fuck off in the middle of the week. Be like, hey, I'm gonna go get drunk. See you later, losers.
Is it before or after Christmas?
It's before.
Okay.
So, what I'm going to do is the week and the weekend of Christmas, because Christmas falls on a Sunday this year.
Hell yeah, it does.
What I usually do is I set up 2 jars of that stuff a year. One for myself for Yule, the other for a Christmas Eve party with chosen family. What I'm going to do this year is I'm going to set up 3. One for myself for Yule, which is the one I just showed you. One for Christmas Eve with chosen family, and one for Christmas with family. So I'm going to go through 3 jars of that stuff.
Yeah.
This year. All 3 days in a row. Because I took that Friday off for Yule. So that's gonna be, I'm gonna be in some kind of state all that weekend.
For sure. And then also, yeah, heck yeah. Also, yeah, that sounds amazing. Very good, very good.
Once Monday comes around, I'm not gonna know what's happening.
There you go. Perfect.
A state is the perfect word for it.
You know whose model I absolutely adore right now? Iron Mouse's most newest model.
Oh, the Kamo model?
Oh yeah, Como is definitely on my list of dream models at this point, between the work for Iron Mouse and the work I've seen for a friend of ours.
Yes.
For Spec. Oh yeah, I forgot I could talk about it. Spec has released the design.
Yeah.
I was like, fuck. That is like, it just the paint, the way it's painted and rendered, and gorgeous.
Yeah. So
beautiful. I am jealous of anyone who has a combo model. They are so gorgeous. And just, Iron Mouse's model is just like...
Iron Mouse's models always hit kind of different, right?
Oh, for sure.
But this most recent one, holy shit.
She went from So I was looking at her original models, right, and her progression, and she's gone from a fluffy, comfy, little imp looking thing
Yeah.
to a Dami mommy, and it's been a very good progression.
Not that big of a fan.
I
No.
I love the most recent one. I love the skeletons. I love the way the face is painted. I love the eye in between the breasts. Um, she also I like all the details. It's really good and it's really different from what she currently has. And I
Uh-huh.
think I feel like this is gonna sound mean. I think some of her models are very similar, but it's cool seeing them in the different art styles. This one feels very, very different from all of her other models, and I like that. It
Yeah.
really stands out. Yeah, and the other thing too about it is that I feel like even though her models are also different, they still feel like the same character, which is something I really like. Like her angel model still feels like the same character that her current model is, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
just very different looks and vibes of the time. Not I don't know, maybe I shouldn't talk about this, but I was not it's not so I guess I should preface it by saying everyone has different tastes in models. Everyone has different tastes in how things will look and how they feel. Um, and my opinion doesn't mean shit, but I was not a fan of Deanna's newest model that she got banned for. I did not like it.
So I know this is a discussion I've had with family, but not so much. Not so much chat. But for whatever reason, um, my brain just straight up separates VTubers and sex. I don't know why, but I'm not
Oh
about to
yeah, yeah.
question it.
Mm-hmm.
So, like,
Mm-hmm.
so like
Wait,
lewd tubers, I'm just
no,
not big on.
not into
Yes,
it. Yeah,
it,
that's
it
very fair.
doesn't do it for me. And so like lewd models, I just can't get into.
See, I like lewd models that there has to be, I don't know how to explain it. There has to be a really good design element to the lewdness, right?
Yeah,
Like like a burlesque almost element. You know?
yeah.
I don't know if this is gonna make sense. Melody's models, even though she's a lewd tuber, I tend to like her models because even though yes, they come in lewd versions, they also are usually really well designed, right?
Yeah.
So I don't like models, and I think I agree with this, that are designed specifically for being lewd to the point it sacrifices other aspects of
Yeah.
the model. My
So,
last one,
hmm,
yeah, yeah, and they're nice to look
yeah,
at if well done, but it's basically it for me as well.
yeah,
Yeah, and like
yeah.
I, I guess maybe it's just because like I don't know, it's kind of like hentai character design, and I hate outing myself here as having uh digested hentai, but like there's hentai
Digest.
characters
Okay.
tend to look they tend to not have very strong design qualities. They tend to all look the same. They tend to sacrifice quality for like let me show more skin than I need
Oh,
to.
oh, I
And
could,
it's
I can send you some recommendations if you're looking for good character design.
Sure, I will take that. But oftentimes, I'm not saying all the time, because I can think of some off the top of my head that have some really good design, especially for the art style. But a
Yes.
lot of times, they're just kind of like slap, have some big old titty and itty bitty, ridiculously weird. You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah.
not. They tend to be low quality design, and I don't. I think you can have both. You can have the best of both worlds. Chill it out, take it slow, then you rock out the show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like you can have both, and I think like okay,
It's not unique.
I
Yeah.
Yeah, and I've seen people do like okay, just because Secret, I have to use you. I'm sorry if I use you as an example here, but
Hmm.
Secret's designs tend to be a good balance of both. They tend to be like really good designs,
Yeah.
and they're lewd. Like you can be both. You can have both and still, like you can have lewd and assimilate to lewd, but still have a really good design. And
Yeah.
if sacrificing good design, especially with how much you're paying for some of these models, right? I don't feel like it's worth sacrificing a good design
Right.
just to be lewd. And I think that's if Neaners fans see this, I think I feel like her most recent design sacrificed good design in the name of being lewd. And it like I did not like my biggest issue with that model was the lower part of the model
Mm-hmm.
where it it didn't the lines didn't follow her body properly and
Hmm.
it didn't look good. Like it kind of looked she was rocking a hammock down there and it was not.
As a copycat to others, everything looks the same.
Yeah, that happens a lot with lewd models,
So that
unfortunately.
so you and I are kind of in the same camp here. For me, the Neander's model, the new Neander's model, just kind of leaned too far into lewd for me. Like I get it, you know. Um, I thought it was an interesting idea that she went with after so long of going with the cat and girl thing, right? To kind of turn around and make it an eldritch thing. But it just leaned too much into the lewd part for me to really enjoy, and it's I don't know. I kind of felt the same way about Vebe's newest model too. It leaned a little too far into the lewd for me to really enjoy.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like hers. I I don't want to compare people's work. I feel like I liked hers better than I hate I because everyone's style and taste is different. So you don't want to compare too much. I
Right.
do think it was better than Neander's
Mm-hmm.
because there was more. I don't want to say more thought, but like there seemed better design choices with regarding the shape of her body and the way it was rendered. That said, I do agree the same thing that it was just too much, right? Like like
Oh,
in
thank you for the
terms of
hydrate, Emmy.
like I like her big coat that she has with it. I think that was a really good design point. But without the
Mm-hmm.
coat, definitely it was much, a little much. And I do think I I hate to sound like a dick because I know I'm gonna sound like a dick. And if the wrong person ever gets a hold of this clip, I need you guys to know that my opinion means jack shit. But I do feel like after what happened with Baby's model, that they should not have let Neanders go on stream with the model she had because
Yeah.
Twitch is very strict on like lower body skin, right?
Be the
They're
dick.
very like
Yes.
they're very much like have proper shorty shorts on there. Like they can be
Yeah.
booty shorts, but they gotta be you gotta cover your lower pelvis area, and Neander's did not do that. And V Shoujo doesn't have excuses anymore, to be honest. They know what the limits are. They know what
Uh,
the limits are.
Scarlet, hey, happy birthday
Happy birthday! Happy birthday
day
to
to
you.
you.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you.
I tried to
Happy
buy you something on
birthday.
the road, but everything was bought already. So, fuck you. Happy birthday to you.
Hey. But if you stick around for what,
No,
like
no, no, no.
four more minutes, everything's gonna be done.
Are we
We're
really
just
that
kind of
close already?
vibing. We're just kind of
Oh my god,
vibing
it's already
right
10
now.
o'clock.
We're just kind of vibing right now.
I didn't even realize it was so late. Oh my god, my time blindness hit me.
It's okay. Daylight savings time fucks us. It's okay.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, it should have fucked me the other way where I had more time than I thought, like, I had. God damn it. Oh well. It's fine. It's fine. Uh, actually, it's 10, but you guys gotta remember that I get up at, like, 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
Well, 5:30, but, yeah. I mean, I've been actually getting up a little bit later.
Oh shit, we're in the same boat. Oh god. Getting up at 5:30 in the morning to go to work.
Yeah, I've actually been like getting my butt out of bed a little bit later, and however, I'm able to get away with it because I also leave work a lot later than I used to. I usually don't leave until like 4:30 now, my time, because I just have so much work that by the time, like anytime, because I'm the only person, there's no possible way. Like the earliest I get to leave is 4, and that's on a good day. And at this point, I'm just like, you know what? It really doesn't matter. My bosses are, because I work so much overtime, my bosses aren't gonna get mad, and it's one of those things that's like I get such limited time when I come home, especially if my boss calls me asking for something specifically. Just like, yeah, they owe me the extra 30 minutes in the morning at this point. And they're not, because I work so much like overtime, I don't think they're gonna ever be mad at me, especially since I work from home and everything, a lot too. So that I'm gonna keep the extra 30 minutes to getting to work. I know it pisses off some of the hourlies because they have to be there because that's how hourly works, but for my job, honestly, it's better for me to be there a little later anyway, because I'm in HR for a night shift and a day shift, so I need to give extra time to the night shift anyway.
Aurora,
so,
hold down the fort. I will be right back.
Oh god. Oh no. So basically you wake up in an hour my time. Yeah, Victor. Wait, Victor, go to bed! Victor! Go to bed! Victor. You leg day is over. Leg day is over. Go take a nap, please. When the food is finished, I may. All right. You know, eat your food. Do what you gotta do. Also, I'm not your mom, so I can't tell you what to do either way. do what you gotta do. You know, do what you gotta do. Listen. Okay, Scarlett. Whoops. Whoa. I don't know. Sorry, I opened TikTok and apparently all my audio is on. Anyway, Scarlett, now that you've watched One Piece Red, are you gonna read the One Piece manga? You gotta enjoy the full Utal lore by knowing the lore before Utal was injected into the lore. Okay, but the anime or the manga is actually super fast to read. Like, you could read the entire manga in under a week. Because the manga is way quicker. I'm not ever going to tell anyone to watch the anime right away. But the manga, because the anime has A, lot of filler, and B, it's like Dragon Ball where they draw out the fights in the anime. Like 10 episodes. What takes like 10 episodes in One Piece happens on like 2 pages in the manga. Yeah, there's no filler in the manga, and then also fights take literally like 2 pages. Also, the fights just look better on paper. Like, they just go, because the anime, just to give you an example, first time I read through the first major like battle arc in One Piece, it took me a day. Not even a day, it took less than a day. I think it took me 2 hours, but it took like 3 days anime wise, because it was like I want to say 20 episodes. Anyway, the anime draws things out a lot longer, and a lot of that also has to do with they didn't want to catch up to the manga too quickly because the manga is still ongoing, right? So they got to draw everything out a lot longer. It's worth watching. Trust me, the battle scenes, especially with Zoro, you would enjoy them. Yeah, You don't have to watch One Piece. Read the manga though. And honestly, if you read the manga, you've already know everything that happens in the anime. Like, other than some filler stuff, you know everything that happens in the anime based on the manga, because the anime is just the manga slightly stretched out. However, fun fact, I did not like Uta when they first announced her. I'm gonna say that now. And my reason... Ooh, look at this. Look at this. I love her now. She's a great character. Her design is great. Her voice is great. When they first announced her, I was not a fan of the concept because they were like, originally they were like, oh, this movie's gonna be all about Shanks. Cool, very cool. However, then they were like, by the way, she's also part of Luffy's backstory, and I'm very tired of Luffy's backstory. I love Luffy's backstory originally. I'm tired of hearing, by the way, this happened, and it... Yes, it is! Yes, it is! Scarlet knows the pot!
Hey, let's go. Alright, so. This is the culmination of tonight's efforts.
Beautiful.
Beef, pumpkin stew.
Naked hand.
Naked hand, yes.
Naked hand. Naked hand.
Ooh. Beef, beef pumpkin stew with coal cannon.
Ooh. Oh, that looks so good. I need to learn how to make a proper beef stew again.
Mm-hmm.
My mom used to make really good beef stew.
It's really not. You want to know what my favorite beef stew recipe has been?
What?
It was this recipe that called for like 5 onions.
Ooh.
Like 5 onions, water, beef chunks, carrots, potatoes.
Ooh.
That was the whole
so
recipe.
really
You got the broth from cooking down the onions in the water.
Oh.
Yeah.
So kind of like a French onion.
Yeah.
But with beef stew. That's interesting.
And it is so good. Like, holy shit. All right, here we go. Moment of truth.
Send it
Actually,
to me.
let me get pumpkin in here instead of carrot, because we know what carrots taste like.
You get the pumpkin. Come get it, Scarlet. Come get the beef stew.
Ooh.
Get your butt out of wherever you are. And come get it. You won't. Was it good?
Oh yeah. This is it, baby. This is it. Let's go to Ev's house now. I made a shitload.
We're on our way.
I made a shitload. One sec, catching a flight. I know where you live.
Oh man, it's so good.
But no, this is great. This was a good choice. You know what?
Yes.
I bet this would taste great.
Does this mean we're getting more cooking streams in the future?
Maybe.
So maybe sounds like a yes. Oh, Tabasco sauce would definitely be good. Listen, Tabasco sauce, especially, you know what's real good? You know what's real good with Tabasco sauce? Leftover mashed potatoes.
Ooh, yeah.
Like, when you have all those potatoes you made for the holidays, you just take some and you warm it up in a bowl and you put a little bit of Tabasco sauce in there. Delicious. Delicious.
Oh, man.
These are good.
This is really something special. Hold on.
Oh, I'm really hungry now. But I gotta go to bed. If I eat now, I'm not gonna be able to sleep. Didn't make me real hungry. I can, like, my brain is, like, tricking me into thinking I could smell it, even though I cannot smell it. That's how good it looks. Oh, amazing.
This is like the only way I eat kale. In potatoes with a shitload of butter and cream in them.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Kale's very difficult to eat on its own.
Y'all have bad diets. I don't want to hear it out of you.
Listen, Scarlet. You'll backseat our diets? Backseat your diet.
You're
I don't
the one
need a
who
man. I have Valorant.
You're the one who makes fucking gamer sups into Coca-Cola. It's fucking.
Excuse me? She does what?
It's fucking check your own diet. God damn.
Scarlet, please. Scarlet, please tell me you do not put caffeine in your caffeine. Scarlet. No! That's not how that works! That's not how it works! Scarlet, you can't do that! That's how you'll get a heart attack! Oh my god, Scarlet! No! No! That's how you get heart attacks! No! Please tell me you don't do this every day. Please tell me you don't do this every day.
The one time that we know of. Oh, thank you for the hydrate lube bar.
Thank you for that. Oh my god. Scarlet, you are... combined with your stress, that's a heart attack waiting to happen. Oh my god. Oh my god, this woman. This woman. Jesus Christ, this woman. Read her well! The assassin gets assassinated by caffeine and stress. That'll be what's on your tombstone, Scarlet, just for you. Oh my god. I can't even judge you, honestly. I've been drinking Celsius, whenever I, like, so you know, I drink Celsius when I go to work, and it's like these powder, it's like Gamer Sups, but it's, like, it comes in powder packets, you can get it at pretty much any store. I've been drinking that. I drink it in combination with water, but still, it's probably not great for me. Probably not great.
Probably not.
I don't drink it on, I try not to drink it on the weekends, so that way, drunk Viet coffee, that shit is strong. Ooh.
You ever
Viet
had
coffee is kids play. I've been drinking since 5th grade. God damn it, Scarlet.
You ever had Turkish coffee?
I have not.
So it's this really fine coffee, right? That they put into.
Maybe
It's pretty much like an espresso shot. And the way it works is they put it in this this special little thing, and they heat it up in super hot sand.
Oh.
And it makes for a really strong, almost sort of thick cup of coffee. It's really good, but really strong.
Yeah, that's like one of those things you can only have like a teeny tiny cup of, right?
I mean, kind of depends person to person.
Gotcha.
Like,
maybe if you're not used to it, you should start with a small cup.
yeah. Maybe if you're not used to it, maybe stick to 1 cup.
1 cup, one little cup. Become double V by insert in your vein. I mean, don't encourage her. She's still. Well, you know what? Never mind. I was gonna say she still has her full body. You know, I mean, you can't encourage her to. And I was like, well, wait, it's fine. She's dead. It's all good. Zombie Scarlet requires caffeine to survive. That's the secret. That's how she was summoned back Pure caffeine into the vein. New lore drop.
No lore. The flower is just straight caffeine. I'm pumping caffeine straight into her brain.
It's like one of those computer coolers. You know, instead of like coolant, it's just using, it's just straight up using caffeine. Yeah, Sin threw that flower on me and poured caffeine on me. Makes sense, exactly. Canon Scarlet summoning ritual. Perfect. Caffeine, and more caffeine.
How's the stew? Oh, it's real good. It's real good.
I'm so jealous. And it looks, listen, putting it in the pumpkin pot, it looks so beautiful that way. Because the orange, with the orange and the carrot and the pumpkin, oh, beautifully plated. Beautifully plated. You know what's really, really good, but also really terrible for you? Sloppy Joes.
Oh, man. Bruh. If I make sloppy joes, there's like an 80% chance that I eat the entire thing that night.
Same at my house. Sloppy Joes are so good. So good. I want the pumpkin pot too, Emmy. 2 of our siblings have the pumpkin pot, and I want it so bad, but it's so expensive. American High School Sloppy Joe's. Yeah, American High School Sloppy Joe's pretty good, but homemade Sloppy Joe. Oh.
Alright, good night, Victor. Thanks for coming.
Good night, Victor. Thank you for hanging out with us. And
just fuck all that manwich shit. Just make it yourself.
I also like the manwich version too, because here's why, right? When I'm tired and I don't want to cook, and I just need to heat up something and have a good, fatty, sloppy meal, it's perfect. Like, yeah, the manwich, is it better when you make it yourself? 100%. However, when I am too tired, and you take the manwich and you slap some cheese on there and put it, you put it in the bun, you slap some cheese on there, it's pretty solid. It's pretty solid, not gonna lie. But Scarberry is the other one.
But I don't know, when you make it yourself, you can make it as spicy as you want.
See, that's the problem though, is I can't make it spicy. My partner is Polish, and thus, he's Jewish Polish, and any sort of spice, makes him sweat immediately. Like, so we had, just to give you guys an idea, we've started eating from this cookbook, and it's like a healthy cookbook where they have 2 different types of ways to make meals. They have a way that if you're trying to gain muscle, and they have a way if you're trying to lose weight.
Is that right?
And because, yeah, and it's pretty good. They have like double versions of all the recipes, and it's not like for the most part, the gaining weight version is just like it's doubling up on proteins and calories and stuff like that. The other one's just like less calories, but still as good. This poor man, he put chili pepper flakes into the meat he was cooking because he was making like a Korean beef bowl of some kind.
Oh, and Koreans like their stuff spicy.
Yeah, but it wasn't. It was just like red pepper flakes. Like it wasn't even like Korean spice. You know what I mean?
Oh, so like it was just straight up like regular old like supermarket spicy. Nothing like, not like gochujang sauce or anything.
Exactly. It was just all that was in it was red pepper flakes. That was it, and it was too spicy for him. So he had to cook it without. He does, but it's also really difficult. Like, basically, he is so weak. I'm saying with this full of love, and he'll admit to this too. He's not afraid to admit that he's a bitch when it comes to spicy. Whenever we eat anything that has any sort of spiciness on it, I have to taste test it first. And based off if I think it's spicy, if I think it's spicy at all, it's too spicy for him. So I'll taste something and I'll warn him based on my perception of spicy.
Oh
And just for
man.
reference, I am Irish Catholic lady, so we don't use a lot of spice, right? We do not use a lot of spice in our cooking.
Yeah.
So, although I will enjoy a good spice. Like I keep kimchi in the house, which isn't really spicy,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm good with like that. I'm
Oh, I
good
need to
with
pick up
like
kimchi.
spicy mayo and stuff. Kimchi's so good. Kimchi is so good. Um, but yeah, like I'm not like super spice warrior, but I have a pretty moderate tolerance of spice. But yeah, if I think
Yeah.
something's spicy, he can't eat it. He can't eat it. So I feel real bad for him. But he's a really good chef otherwise.
Mm-hmm. Oh man, you know what I haven't had in a while?
What?
Korean fried chicken.
Ooh.
Oh man, I was thinking about that the other day. You just
You
need to eat
know,
it every day. Exactly. Push himself to the limits. Fucking
yeah.
sriracha on his eggs in the morning if he has to.
Oh my god. Speaking of which, his corporal, not his corporal, his sergeant, they he has chickens, and he recently started bringing chickens, like fresh eggs, to work
Oh.
and giving them to his coworkers. And so we've started getting fresh eggs at my house, and I haven't had any yet, but apparently they're much better than regular eggs.
I
And
know it's not,
also,
but he's got to. Everyone's got to start somewhere.
yeah, he's real sensitive. He's gotta have baby level heat. Um, but also, speaking of which, because winter is coming, you know what else is gonna be real good?
Hmm.
Hot pot.
Ooh. So I've there's been exactly one hot pot place near me, and it closed down
No.
because it opened up like right before the pandemic stuff happened.
Oh no.
Yeah.
And you
So
can't order out.
exactly,
Like,
exactly.
oh. Yeah, all the hot pot places near me are like an hour away. So
Mm-hmm.
if we want hot pot, we gotta go way out of our way. But
Oh
there's
fuck! Sound alerts. I forgot.
we have like different types
Oops.
of, oh crap, oops, sorry.
Sound alerts. Apparently I didn't set them up on the laptop.
No
That's
worries,
my
no
bad.
worries. But by the way, you know what I so we have not near us, but like an hour away, there's a neighborhood, and they have a lot of different,
You can
you
make your
can
own
make
hot
your own
pot.
pot. That's
Yeah,
very true.
yeah,
That's very true.
yeah.
However, you know what's real good? Um, I haven't brought my partner to like proper hot pot yet. And
Mm-hmm.
by proper, I just mean like Japanese slash Korean style. The hot pot place we went to, we found a hot pot place online. We went there, and it
Mm-hmm.
wound up being Vietnamese hot pot, which is
Oh.
very different, but also super good. Like
Mm-hmm.
how they serve it Vietnamese style is, rather than having like, you know how you cook the stuff in front of you
Yeah.
at like regular hot pot, instead they give you these bowls, um and it'll have the raw stuff all set up. It has like shrimp and everything all ready to go, and they'll cook it on like a beautiful individual like cooker, and you get your own little bowls, and you each have your own bowl and stuff. And you it's, I don't even know how to explain it. It's very pretty, and it's very very good. And it's different from regular like hot pot, and it's not like in the table. It's like in its own bowl that comes with this
Mm-hmm.
decorative like cooking apparatus, and they light it up and they put it on your table, and you just eat it from yourself, and you don't like cook it. Like it's already in the bowl. It's
Yeah.
cooking. You just take it out once starts boiling and stuff, and start eating it, and it's super
Huh.
good. Super good.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was really pretty. I'd like to take him to like Japanese hot pot just to experience that. Yeah, like it's like a single bowl hot pot. You don't share
Hmm.
it.
Okay.
It's really good. And it has a lot more like ingredients and stuff in it too, which is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
like a larger range, and it's really really good. But I'd like to take him to like the broth hot pot where you get your broths and then you pick your stuff and then you cook it that way.
Yeah. That winds
Because
up
that's
being pretty
expensive.
expensive, doesn't it?
Um, yes and
At
no.
least
I'd
at
say
least at the place I went to, it turned out to be pretty expensive.
I find that it depends, and I
Mm-hmm.
think it's become more expensive because the first time I ever went to hot pot, it wound up being pretty cheap. Like it was like $20, both me and my partner at the
Mm-hmm.
time. I think it's gotten more expensive as it's gotten more popular. And it also depends a lot on what you order. But you know what gets real expensive really fast?
Hmm.
All you can eat Korean barbecue.
Oh yeah.
That
Like
gets
especially if
super
you're having
expensive.
drinks with it. Holy shit.
It's so worth it though. It's so good. We're getting an all you can eat Korean barbecue place within 20 minutes of me, and I'm so
There you
excited.
go. Let's go.
But it's I'm so excited, but also my wallet's like, fuck, why have you done this? What I really
That place has
need,
doomed you.
oh, for sure, for sure. What I really need in close proximity of me is a decent sushi place that isn't the grocery store, and
Mm-hmm.
B, a boba place, because we don't have anyone who really serves like decent boba here.
Yeah.
I think there's like a Vietnamese donut shop that serves boba, but I want like a proper like boba shop. Bun
Bun bun.
bun.
Oh yes, that's
Oh,
right.
I gotta go to
That's
bed soon too.
All right. Let me cover up my. Let me cover up my food.
Can't get bunny hair in the food. No, no.
All right. The bunny hair is everywhere else. Please let me have one thing.
Thank Perry. And there's the lid, the beautiful lid. Ooh, ooh. I wonder why it does that. It like completely changes.
So yeah, if I bump the camera, well, all right. Who's ready for motion sickness?
Me.
It'll like completely just start flipping around.
Yeah,
I don't
like,
know.
do you have it? Do you have the mirror? Is it mirrored?
I don't know.
But even
But I
then,
really-
like bumping the camera shouldn't change that. You know what I
You'd
mean?
think. You'd think.
That's
Yeah. Here
that's
we
so
are.
Weird. So weird. I've never seen that before in my life.
Let me hunt down my son. I've nearly got him. Don't you thump at me?
He's giving you the toot. It's a bad buddy. Oh no, Emmy, not the motion sickness. Come here, bunny. Come here, Perry. It's a bunny boy. Nah, 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 nah. He don't want carrot.
Oh God. The upsetto boy.
He's so upsetto spaghetto. Look at his fat little butt.
Hold on, let me try something.
Ooh, 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 ooh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. There's an octopus shirt. Oh, beard.
Beard, shush.
Bottom. Oh, 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 oh. Immersion break. Oh, hello, Perry.
He's so big. He's not
He's a little bunny. He's pretty little. I've seen some big buns and a little but oh my god, he's such a ball of fluff. He's such a ball of love.
What are you
He's just
doing,
like,
buddy?
why have you done this, father? He's hiding. He's hiding from the camera. It's like, what is that? It's looking at me. He knows.
He knows.
He knows. He knows we're here looking at him. He's like, I hate it. I hate
He
all
knows
of
his
it. I hate
identity
you."
is being stolen as we speak.
Is being compromised. The people are already making Perry Twitter accounts and getting blue check marks.
It's only $8 a month now. Pat Perry.
There you
Yes.
He's so sweet.
But
He's a little cotton ball of fuzz. So mad.
he really is. I was
Like,
bugging him while he
you're
was
funny.
eating his kale and everything. I'm surprised he's not already trying to dig into my chest. Oh, look at that. There he goes.
Oh, he's like, Father, how dare you put me down?
I cannot believe you've done this.
I can't believe you've done this.
Yeah, I know, buddy. I know. Daddy's the worst. You might hear some thumping once I put him down. All right. That's 2 digs, fine.
Shit, damn, you live like this? Sorry, I had to.
Oh hell!
What?
This is why I don't show you people. I've had a lot going on in here today in this like small
very fair.
space.
Very fair. Very fair. I just.
I'm gonna
I had to for the goofy memes. I had to for the goof.
Damn, bitch, you live like. Shut up. Didn't ask. Oh god, it's just not stopping now. What? Why is it not stopping? Hold on. Alright, this is getting out of hand. Hold on, this is getting out of hand. Alright, goodbye, camera.
Bye, camera.
Okay. That was getting to be a bit much. Camera dance.
By the way,
Yes.
you know who I saw on the internet who I never thought I would see again?
Who'd you see?
The Vega Boys.
Is that right?
Yeah, they are on TikTok and they are doing pretty well. And they apparently are still doing live concerts.
Huh.
So
Fuck,
good for them. They're living their best life.
Rip Aaron Carter though.
Oh god,
What?
that poor kid, that poor guy.
Yeah.
I don't think they've released an official cause of death, but they're pretty sure it was an OD.
That's pretty much how it usually goes, isn't it?
Yeah.
Those child stars.
Yeah, it's really sad, and I didn't know this, but apparently, because Nick Carter, his older brother, who was in the Backstreet Boys, was probably old enough that he avoided this, but apparently his parents broke the law multiple times and stole all his money. It was very
one of
much
those
like a
kind of
Britney.
situations, huh?
Yeah, they used him for money. They were supposed to put a certain percentage in an account because of I forget what law it is. It's a law based off a certain actor who had all his money stolen as a kid. They did not do that. He was supposed to have, he probably should have had like 20 million saved in his account. They only saved 3 million of what he made for him. Which, probably didn't, I don't know how long it lasted him, but probably not as long as it should have. Bad situation. Poor man. He was not looking to do so well either. But anyway,
Yeah,
this was fun.
It really sucks to see it happen. But
Yeah.
especially since we grew up with these.
Well,
I,
I
I,
think
I
what's...
can't zoom in on the laptop.
Oh, sorry.
Especially since we grew up with these people, it's so disheartening to see them go, especially like
Well,
that.
I think what's really weird to me is that I didn't realize how close he was to my age.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like
Yeah,
we
he
really
was
didn't have that much difference
he was
between our ages,
still
and
in his
yeah,
early 30s, wasn't
he was 34,
he?
so he was really young. He was a baby. Like he's young enough that he could have been like he could have been like my older brother or my cousin or something like that. Like he
Yeah.
was one of our generation. I think that's probably what's so weird to me about it too, is that like he's really the first, like obviously that there have been some young deaths, but he's really the first actor, I guess, from our age group who has really, not actor, but I don't know, like usually when
Star.
people have passed away this way, they usually aren't this close to my age.
Yeah.
And I guess it just, yeah. But anyway,
It's one of those things that can happen to anyone, really.
yeah, poor guy. But thank you for having me. Sorry to
Yeah.
go well the depresso espresso, but also
No.
thank you for
That's the
having me
time.
on.
That's the time of year that it is. This is the time of year where we honor our dead. And
For sure.
he was kind of the most recent one, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on such short notice.
Of course, anytime.
Hmm, 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 hmm.
I enjoyed it, and I always enjoy hanging out. I know I did a lot of talking. I apologize because I tend to talk a lot. Um,
No,
but
I was
also
kind of focused when we really started getting into it, so it is all good.
yeah, I thank you for having me on, and thank you for being chill, and yeah, it was very chill. I appreciate being here.
Let me take a look. Let me see what's going down on Twitch.com. I'm sorry, Twitch.tv.
Twitch.tv.
Look at me
Are we
sounding
raiding somebody?
look at me sounding like a boomer
A
with the
boomer.
Twitch.com.
You know, fun story about being
Nice.
a boomer. Miss Scarlet Lillian, I don't know if she's still here, asked me who Aaron Carter was.
Oh yes.
And I was like, oh shit, she's probably just young enough that she would have been too young to remember him.
Yep.
Cause he was big when I was like 5. So he was a preteen when I was 5. It was so crazy. Uh, who we raid, Ned? Who's getting the loves?
Who? Oh no. Think Justin Bieber, but like kind of like actually okay. At the
Justin
start.
Bieber. He so Aaron Carter.
Yeah.
Do you remember if you know the Backstreet Boys, there's a member of the Backstreet Boys named Nick Carter, and he had a younger brother who was a solo artist, Aaron Carter. And he was like the Justin Bieber of his time. He was really big around the time that Britney Spears came out with her Lucky album. And he was like the heartthrob, like Lizzie McGuire era heartthrob. Uh, yeah, really, like all the girls were really into him, and he was a child star. And yeah.
Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and raid Sin tonight. He's off doing his thing. being vibing. I set up this raid on my tablet, so I don't know. I'm pretty sure this will just go automatically. This was a lot of fun. I guess I might do more cooking streams in the future.
Please do. This was very fun.
Maybe we'll do something. Maybe we'll do something for you. I don't know. Fuck around, find out.
Fuck around, find out.
I'll have a schedule up tomorrow. Don't know what I'm doing this week, but it'll sure be something.
Heck yeah.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure this is just kind of going automatically right now. I don't know. It's not giving me anything. It's not
For
telling
what?
me.
Oh,
anything.
the raid?
Yeah.
Oh, there should be a raid now button.
Well, I'm doing this off of my tablet.
Oh, maybe it doesn't like your tablet. That's okay, the timer's running up.
Maybe not. Is it? Okay, cool.
Yep.
Good night.
There you go, you're off the air. Well, you gotta hit the stop streaming button, but